Chapter 46. That was why Mu-Chi-Chi did not dare to go out so openly at night, afraid that Suzy Pei would find out. After all, Suzy Pei trusted her so much. However, Mu-Chi-Chi desperately wanted to see Xing Xiao. For that, she made sure that Suzy Pei was completely asleep before sneaking out. She waited until midnight. When Mu-Chi-Chi went out, Xing Xiao was already asleep in the car. Xiao Xiao. Mu-Chi-Chi sat beside him and looked at his handsome face. Have you been waiting for a long time? I thought you became bold and dared not to come out. I would come out even if I have to crawl. But my mother told Aunt Zipe about me today. You know, I was afraid that she would get suspicious, so I waited until she fell asleep. Mu-Chi-Chi explained. Then you won't see me at night anymore? Xing Xiao looked at Mu-Chi-Chi meaningfully. You don't have to wait until midnight. I want to see you. Mu-Chi-Chi quickly answered. I'm willing to wait until morning. Xing Xiao could not help driving a little further after achieving his goal. However, he did not leave the villa, because his little one had to go to school tomorrow. She would not be energetic if she did not rest enough. Have you thought about which school you want to go to? Xing Xiao stopped the car and asked Mu-Chi-Chi coolly. Or do you want to go abroad? I don't. Mu-Chi-Chi quickly answered. I just want to stay in Jianchuan. Xing Xiao could not help lifting Mu-Chi-Chi's chin at that, and asked her wickedly. Do you want to stay in Jianchuan or by my side? Mu-Chi-Chi's heart was intoxicated. She looked at Xing Xiao and could not help asking. I just want to see you all the time. Xing Xiao could not help chuckling when he got the answer. Little one, you're getting more and more explicit. With that, he reached out and rubbed Mu-Chi-Chi's lips with his long fingers. Mu-Chi-Chi's heart raced and thumped. She felt as if she was riding the clouds to be so close to the person she loved. Then, Xing Xiao's face inched closer, his lashes becoming clearer. Soon, her lower lip was caught between his lips. This time, he did not bite, but sucked. Mu-Chi-Chi quickly closed her eyes, but Xing Xiao had already left her lips. It's quite lousy. A kept woman is very proactive. That's right. You're right. Mu-Chi-Chi blushed and quickly buried her head in his chest. This man was too good at flirting. She was just a little girl. She was no match for him at all. Xiao Xiao, I don't know which university I'm going to. Can you help me fill in my wish? When Xing Xiao heard that, he quickly asked. What if I let you read it again? Are you going to do it? Mu-Chi-Chi shook her head. I trust you. You always do what's best for me. Though Mu-Chi-Chi's words sounded a little fake, Xing Xiao enjoyed it. Although he did not immediately answer her, he kept her wish in mind. Either way, I don't want to be in the same school as Mu Tongxue. I have a feeling that she would pursue our relationship relentlessly. Xing Xiao said nothing. He hugged Mu-Chi-Chi and pressed her head against his chest for a few minutes before letting go. You're flying to Italy tomorrow morning. Don't let anyone bully you when I'm not around. I know. Mu-Chi-Chi nodded and left Xing Xiao's embrace. But just as she was about to get out of the car, Xing Xiao grabbed her and quickly covered her lips. There was no helping it. The little one's lips were just that addictive. Mu-Chi-Chi reached out to hug Xing Xiao by reflex and responded clumsily and awkwardly. Afraid of leaving a mark, Xing Xiao eventually stopped there and did not go too deep. After that, Mu-Chi-Chi got out of the car and returned to the little mansion. Remembering Xing Xiao's 2 kisses tonight, Mu-Chi-Chi felt that she was about to faint from bliss. Of course, the more blissful she was, the more afraid she was. If the day came when everyone knew about their relationship, wouldn't she have to separate from Xiao Xiao when that time came? There was no helping it. Her natural melancholy left Mu-Chi-Chi both blissful and fearful meanwhile. Xing Xiao should have been resting after returning to the Sheng family. But instead, he had Jing Yun search for the best faculty in every university in Jianchuan, because he did not want to disappoint his little one. Seeing that he was so serious, Jing Yun said, Young master, you really seem to have fallen for it. Xing Xiao was sitting on the sofa, flipping through the university information. He knew Mu-Chi-Chi's ability, which was why getting into his alma mater would not be a problem. Moreover, his alma mater's science faculty was one of the top in the country. No one would have imagined that the great crown prince of Huang Yao, young master Sheng, whose very name would strike fear in the hearts of others and 8th brother of the Sheng family, would become a demon. was choosing the ideal university for a high school girl who was about to apply to. That was why Jing Yun felt that Sheng Xiao was completely caught up in it. Sheng Xiao did a series of analysis and picked out the faculty that Mu Qiqi was confident in. After putting down his pen, he looked at Jing Yun and said, "Yes, I'm falling for it. Do you have a problem with that?" "Young master, you know very well that's impossible. It would only hurt Miss Mu Qiqi. What are you afraid of if she's not afraid?" Sheng Xiao couldn't help asking Jing Yun in return. "Jing Yun, a soul that succumbs to fate is boring. Young master, I'm just afraid that you would get hurt when the time comes. I've told you before. Hurt is hurt, kneel is kneel. I'm not afraid, so what are you afraid of? No matter what you say, I can't stop worrying about my little one now. I can't let go of her. And it's up to you whether you want to support her or keep stabbing her in the back. But I won't change my decision because of you." With that, Sheng Xiao put away the university information and went to the bathroom to wash up. Jing Yun was upset. He could understand if it was anyone else, but why did it have to be Mu Qiqi? The Mu family and the Sheng family had always been incompatible. Although Sheng Zhao's generation no longer cared about those grudges, the generation before him still cared. Still, if he did not stand by Sheng Zhao's side, and the matter was exposed, there would really be only two of them left. Although it was hard for him to accept it, he decided to try and accept Mu Qiqi's place in Sheng Zhao's heart. Moreover, he would help young master keep it a secret from master and madam. In fact, Sheng Xiao knew Jing Yun's personality well enough to know that he would never betray him. Even so, the little one could certainly fight back against petty schemes, but she was still so immature when it came to grand schemes. Chapter 47. Of course, it was a difficult night for Mu Tangxue. After all, she had never been scolded like that by Papa Mu. At that thought, Mu Tangxue could not hold back her cunning thoughts, and asked Mama Mu tentatively, "Mommy, I'm sorry I couldn't tell you honestly about school. You must be upset, right?" "To tell the truth, dear, I was stunned when your sister told me. I couldn't believe it was you. My sister always bullied me at school. I had no other choice but to do this." Mu Tangxue's eyes reddened. "You know that I wouldn't do anything out of line. I just wanted to teach her a lesson, so that she wouldn't bully me all the time. I didn't expect it to backfire. I feel bad for embarrassing the Mu family too. That's why I don't blame you, Daddy." Mu Tangxue was right. Mama Mu only knew about it because Mu Qiqi told on her behind her back. Otherwise, Mama Mu wouldn't have noticed that she had been caught posting the diary after she jumped off a building. "Dear, please give in to Mu Qiqi when we get back to school. She doesn't listen to anyone now. I'm afraid she would hurt you even more. You're our only treasure now, and I don't want you to be hurt in any way." Mu Tangxue nodded, sitting on the bed, her face full of worry. "Then what about Sis being a mistress? I went to your aunt. Why would she admit it? She said that Mu Qiqi sleeps at 9 every day, and I suspect that she's fooling around behind your aunt's back." Mama Mu sneered. "Even so, it's hard to prove their innocence. But we can't do anything to them now, since we don't have custody of your sister." Mu Tangxue did not ask further. She could only find out if she investigated on her own. And did her aunt trust Mu Qiqi that much? Then, what if she had another part of Mu Qiqi's diary? Mu Tangxue did not believe that her aunt would remain indifferent when she showed it to her. The next morning, Mu Qiqi received a call from Sheng Xiao just as she got out of bed. She was immediately energized. "Xiao, what's up? It's so early. Are you sure you won't regret letting me decide your school?" Sheng Xiao asked her with certainty. "No regrets. Don't tell me you didn't sleep the whole night because of what I said last night." Mu Qiqi replied. "You wish." Sheng Xiao sneered. "I've already sent you the name of the school and the name of the department." After hanging up the phone sweetly, Mu Qiqi opened the inbox on her phone. When she saw the name of the school, she immediately jumped up from the bed. Did Xiao want her to enter his alma mater and become his junior? Junior? At that thought, Mu Qiqi promptly decided that she would follow in his footsteps. That was why Mu Qiqi went to school early in the morning. It was then that Mu Tangxue appeared near the little mansion with her backpack. She wanted to meet Su Zipei in private. Mu Tongxue waited by the door, just as Mama Mu did when the security guards refused to let her in. Suzy Pei would go out every day to buy groceries for Mu Qiqi, and she did a double take when she saw Mu Tongxue standing in the snow when she left the iron gates. Even so, she knew that it was not Mu Qiqi. Although they were twin sisters, their auras were completely different. Suzy Pei could tell who was Mu Qiqi and who was Mu Tongxue at once. That was why her expression was a little unnatural. The Mu family was really something. Did they not stop pestering her every day? That was why Suzy Pei was about to ignore her. But Mu Tongxue stopped her. Aunt Zipei, I want to talk to you. You're not even going to school and waiting here just to talk to me. Suzy Pei smiled. What are you trying to sow discord in front of me, Tongxue? Doesn't Aunt Zipei know that sister is meeting a man? Mu Tongxue asked Suzy Pei. I told you that Mu Tongxue doesn't have time to meet strange men. How long are you going to slander her? Well, what if I have proof? With those words, Mu Tongxue took out a few pages of Mu Qiqi's diary from her bag and handed it to Suzy Pei. Aunt Zipei, take a look at it yourself. I'm worried about sister. Suzy Pei took the diary, but did not give Mu Tongxue any face, and promptly returned to the little mansion. Why would the Mu family not let Mu Tongxue go? Hence, Suzy Pei threw the pages of Mu Tongxue's diary into a drawer. Who would read something that violated their privacy? Mu Qiqi would definitely be upset if she knew. She was Mu Tongxue's only relative now. And would she not believe Mu Qiqi? Mu Tongxue was not confident that Suzy Pei would read it, and even guessed that Suzy Pei would know about it. That was why her trip was in vain. Still, it would be nice to tell Mu Qiqi about it and see her reaction, even though she would feel terrible after entering the classroom. Look, White Lotus Mu is here. You still have the courage to come. Mu Qiqi turned to Mu Tongxue, who gestured for her to go outside for a private chat. Mu Qiqi rose to her feet and went to the corridor outside the classroom. Soon, Mu Tongxue came out as well and said, I gave the rest of your diary to Aunt Zipei this morning while you were in school. That's why she's probably admiring what you wrote about holding a man's hand at home. Although Mu Qiqi was a little flustered at those words, she maintained her composure. Mu Tongxue, do you know why you're called White Lotus Mu now? Because you only know how to hide in a dark corner and do shameful things, while insisting that you're innocent. That's not important. I just want to know who your sugar daddy is. Others might not believe it, but you and I both know that he exists. Mu Tongxue told Mu Qiqi, Sister, I might not let go of that part of you in the future. Mu Qiqi glared at her coldly, not bothered to waste words with trash. I'm looking forward to it too. What's Aunt Zipei's expression when she sees you after school today? Mu Qiqi smiled when she saw Mu Tongxue's smug expression. She approached Mu Tongxue and said, Let's not talk about me. Let's talk about you. Mom and Dad probably didn't treat you well when they found out about your embarrassing incident at the hospital. That's how I came over. You'll have to bear it yourself from now on. I'm telling you, Uncle Mu will beat you up, and your delicate body. You have to take care of it, or you won't be able to take a beating. Chapter 48. Right now Mu Tongxue was having a hard time getting anything out of Mu Qiqi. Even if she had lost in reality, Mu Qiqi would not just stand by and watch as Mu Tongxue made a fool of herself. At worst, both sides would suffer. Her classmates were very disdainful of Mu Tongxue's return, since anyone would hate a snitch. Qiqi, let me tell you a secret. Many people in school have come up with ways to punish Mu Tongxue. It's going to be interesting when the time comes. Qian told Mu Qiqi in private. White Lotus Mu prepared to die. At that moment, Mu Qiqi could not enjoy the joy of victory. She was worried that her aunt might have read her diary. Mu Tongxue knew that she was about to be pranked since she was used to seeing others pranking Mu Qiqi. That was why she simply stayed behind her desk all day. When the bell rang, Mu Qiqi quickly got into old Lin's car. But on the way there, she texted Sheng Xiao, who was overseas. Xiao, Mu Tongxue, I've shown my diary to Aunt Zipei. I'm afraid she would know what's on my mind. There was no response from Sheng Xiao. Having no one to talk to, Mu Qiqi could only keep texting him. Aunt Zipei must find it hard to accept. Still, Sheng Xiao did not answer. because he was in a video conference. Holding her phone, Mu Chichi mustered her courage and went up to Su Zipei timidly when she saw her at the gates of the little mansion. "You're back. Let's eat." Su Zipei quickly gestured for her to put down her bag. Mu Chichi could not tell what Su Zipei was thinking. "Aunt Zipei, what is it?" Su Zipei asked. Mu Chichi shook her head. She did not have the courage to ask, and since Su Zipei did not react strangely to her, she quickly became a coward. "It's nothing." After eating, Mu Chichi went upstairs and sneaked into Su Zipei's room, while she was tidying up in the kitchen to see if the diary Mu Tongxue mentioned was inside. In the end, she found a few pages stuck together in Su Zipei's bedside drawer. But she could not take them away. When she returned to her room, Mu Chichi immediately wrote a few new pages. She tore them into pieces and stuck them together with cellophane tape. Then, when Su Zipei was taking a shower, she secretly replaced the diary in her drawer. She was not sure if Su Zipei had read it, but she would only feel at ease if she had it in her hands. She carefully protected her relationship with Sheng Xiao, because she knew that liking Sheng Xiao was treason to Su Zipei. Perhaps, she would only have the courage to tell Su Zipei that she liked Xiao Xiao after she entered the university. But now she still felt guilty. How could she fall in love with her savior? Wasn't he biting the hand that fed him? There was no reply from Sheng Xiao, and Mu Chichi's emotions were very complicated. Still, just as Mu Chichi was about to fall asleep in bed, Sheng Xiao finally replied. "If you're so scared, why did you continue?" Holding her phone, Mu Chichi felt upset when she read those words. "I'm scared, but I want to continue. It's fine even if my head bleeds." Then it was a long wait. Mu Chichi fell asleep, and it was only when she saw Sheng Xiao's reply the next morning. "Sleeping so late? Are you trying to get last place in the whole school?" The man was talking about it again. Mu Chichi giggled foolishly on her bed and got up to go downstairs to meet Su Zipei. "Good morning, Aunt Zipei. Hurry up and have breakfast. I've received a notice from your school to attend a parent-teacher conference next Monday." Su Zipei told Mu Chichi, her expression unnatural. "Chichi, Aunt Zipei thinks that I shouldn't go. I would only embarrass you if I went. And I know that Eton students are rich and powerful." "Aunt Zipei, won't I be even more embarrassed if you put it that way?" "It's fine, you can go. Or I'll be a student without a parent." "Wouldn't that be terrible?" Mu Chichi stuck out her tongue at Su Zipei. "Aunt Zipei is just like my own mother in my heart. There's no difference in status, and we can't compare." Su Zipei patted Mu Chichi's head and nodded. "All right, I'll be going." Mu Chichi nodded. She heard everyone talking about the parent-teacher conference when she entered school. The semester was about to end, which was why it was customary for parents to be concerned about their children's grades. In fact, it was a competition in disguise. Which family in Eton did not have mountains of gold and silver? And Mu Chichi was special. Hence, Qian Qian propped her head on her hand and asked Mu Chichi, "Who's coming from your family?" "I only have my aunt. What do you think?" Mu Chichi retorted. "What about her?" Qian Qian gestured at Mu Tongxue with her chin. "She's none of my business," Mu Chichi replied. According to Eton's tradition, every student's family is rich and powerful, wearing limited edition branded goods from head to toe. "Chichi, if your period comes, you might have to put up with some ugly looks. You know, being a rich person is just that realistic," Qian Qian reminded Mu Chichi. Mu Chichi knew that Su Zipei would only be humiliated if she came to the parent-teacher conference. Moreover, how could she bear to let her aunt be humiliated? Mu Tongxue was well aware of Mu Chichi's predicament. Hence, she approached her after class and asked, "Sis, don't tell me you're asking Aunt Zipei to help you attend the parent-teacher conference?" Mu Chichi turned to look at Mu Tongxue with a none-of-your-business expression. "My parents would be there too. It's a pity that you're no longer in the Mu family's custody, and you can't represent yourself. If you really ask Aunt Zipei to attend, I'm afraid it's not appropriate. You know she's been poor all her life. She'd make a fool of herself if she goes on stage." Mu Chichi glared at Mu Tongxue before shouting loudly in front of the entire class, "Shut your filthy mouth and return to your seat. Don't let me see you. Cooperate, okay?" Mu Tongxue said nothing else and turned to return to her seat. After all, Mu Qiqi really had no one to help her attend the parent-teacher conference. How embarrassing would that be? Therefore Mu Tongxue smiled coldly. Since she had left the Mu family so casually, she would have to bear the price. Mu Qiqi hesitated at Mu Tongshue's words. It was not that she despised Su Zipei's family background, but she was worried that other parents would embarrass Su Zipei. She did not want someone she cherished to suffer. Even so, she could not live without a parent. Chapter 49. Let your aunt go, and she has to go. But Mu Qiqi was very worried that Su Zipei would be mocked by others, especially Mama Mu. She did not want her aunt to suffer such humiliation. Leave the rest to Jing Yun. Would Jing Yun spare her aunt a few days' worth of mockery? Mu Qiqi knew very well that the elegance and composure of nobles emanated from their very bones, while Su Zipei's aura was very simple. Even if she did not know how it would turn out, she could not do without her parents. Qian Qian seemed to have noticed her friend's distress, and so told her, "What's wrong with letting your aunt attend? What's the point of being richer now? If you're afraid of being bullied by White Lotus Mu, I can tell my parents to take care of your aunt." Mu Qiqi could not help smiling at that. "It's good enough that you're so considerate. I'll think of something myself." In fact, Qianqian was right. At most, if someone bullied her aunt, she would fight them to the death. In the evening, Mu Qiqi returned home after class to find that the stylist arranged by Jing Yun had arrived at the little mansion, and was now changing Su Zipei's appearance. "You're back, Qiqi?" Su Zipei was sitting on the sofa, letting the stylist trim her hair. "Aunt, what are you doing?" "Young Master Sheng told me not to embarrass you at the parent-teacher conference. So he arranged for these designers to help Aunt Zipei. They will also teach Aunt Zipei a lot about fashion, so you don't have to worry when the time comes." Su Zipei smiled at her. "Young Master Sheng has been very kind to us. That's why she's so obsessed with that man," Mu Qiqi thought. "You guys continue. I'm going upstairs to do my homework." With those words, Mu Qiqi grabbed her bag and went upstairs. Then, she took out her phone and texted Sheng Xiao. "Xiao Xiao, are you really going to change your aunt? In just a few days." Sheng Xiao did not reply to Mu Qiqi when he received the message. Judging from the little one's excitement, she must be looking forward to the parent-teacher conference in a few days. Seeing that Sheng Xiao was not giving up, Mu Qiqi decided not to be discouraged. If worse came to worst, she would do her best to protect Su Zipei if she was bullied. Mu Qiqi did not know when Sheng Xiao would be back, so she brought the blueprints to a professional craftsman over the weekend, and used the pocket money she had saved to have the craftsman teach her how to make it. She didn't need the cufflinks to be exquisite, but they had to be unique in this world. 3 days later, Su Zipei had completely changed her appearance. Her long, silky hair had turned into a short, fluffy hairstyle, accentuating her exquisite facial features. With her perfect makeup, Mu Qiqi could not help but be surprised. There was indeed a huge difference after a woman put on makeup. Next was her style of dressing. In the past, Su Zipei was very thrifty, casual and simple. But now, there was someone who matched her clothes and put them in the wardrobe. She would never make a mistake again. In other words, from head to toe, even from her behavior, Su Zipei was like a noble from the British royal family. "Aunt Zipei, I don't even recognize you." Mu Qiqi could not help exclaiming when she saw Su Zipei's transformation. Then, a slender figure walked behind Mu Qiqi and held her wriggling shoulders. "Why are you so excited?" Mu Qiqi turned and almost jumped when she saw Sheng Xiao. Fortunately, Su Zipei was there, and she held back and did not lunge at him. "Brother Xiao, why are you here?" "To check the results." Sheng Xiao was still tired, and the plane had just landed. Still, he couldn't care less about anything else, as he missed the little one, and went to the little mansion first. Then, Sheng Xiao studied Su Zipei from head to toe with a sharp gaze. "Not bad. Yes, Aunt Zipei, you'll definitely be the prettiest tomorrow." Mu Qiqi sighed in awe. "But Xiao Xiao, no, I mean Brother Xiao, what if someone else hits on you? Stay aloof the whole time, and look at others as if I'm looking down on all of you. Don't respond to what others say, especially Mama Mu's provocations. Remember, everyone but you will be a joke tomorrow." Not to mention Su Zipei. Even Mu Qiqi felt her blood boiling after hearing that. Of course, Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei were complementary, and Su Zipei could not do without Mu Qiqi's cooperation. And you? Sheng Xiao turned to look at Mu Qiqi and told her. You must look at others with the attitude of my aunt is so noble and cold. You must hold back if you can't accept it. You must remain calm even in the face of Mu Tongshua's provocation, and radiate calmness from your bones. Mu Qiqi nodded at that. I understand, Brother Xiao. If that's the case, I'll watch your performance tomorrow. I'm going back to the Sheng family. In just a few short minutes, Sheng Xiao was about to leave when Mu Qiqi stopped him. Do you want to eat before you leave? There's something else, Sheng Xiao said, and mouthed to Mu Qiqi, see you tonight. Mu Qiqi nodded and did not stop him. I'll see you out. Save your strength for the parent-teacher conference tomorrow. With those venomous words, Sheng Xiao turned and left. Mu Qiqi wanted to see Sheng Xiao at all times, but he was really too busy. Young Master Sheng is such a good person. It must be hard on him to take care of us alone when he's so busy. I only hope that he could find a beautiful young lady and live happily ever after. Mu Qiqi couldn't help asking Su Zipei at that. Aunt Zipei, what kind of girl do you think Brother Xiao is suitable for? Su Zipei thought about it and shook her head. I really can't think of anyone who would be good enough for young Master Sheng. Mu Qiqi was both happy and sad at that. After all, she was too ordinary, while Sheng Xiao was too dazzling. She was not even sure if Sheng Xiao liked her, or if he was just teasing her on a whim. On his way home after leaving the small mansion, Sheng Xiao ran into Jing Yin, who was waiting for him. Young master, the banquet is about to start, and there are many young ladies here tonight. It seems that the chairman is looking for a partner for you young masters and ladies. I don't care. You know my taste, Sheng Xiao told Jing Yin. I'm leaving halfway through the banquet. Help me think of something. Understood, young master. Chapter 50. At the celebration banquet, the chips clashed and goblets clattered. Sheng Xiao sat in a corner bored, completely unwilling to join such a boring and time-wasting gathering. When Papa Sheng saw that Sheng Xiao was sitting in a corner, he gestured for a few single girls to come over and strike up a conversation. Many of the socialites had the heart, but not the guts. One of them, a voluptuous young lady from the Jiang family, walked up to Sheng Xiao ostentatiously, intent on challenging the legend of aristocratic circles. Young Master Sheng, do you mind if I sit beside you? Sheng Xiao opened his eyes and glanced at her. There was a teasing smile at the corner of his mouth. Compared to a hill, I prefer a flat plain. I wonder if Miss Jiang has heard of the phrase big breasts without brains? Miss Jiang did a double take, a flame abruptly burning in her eyes. Young Master Sheng doesn't seem to care about women. You're wrong. There's still someone who catches my eye. Who is it? Sheng Xiao smiled and stood up from the sofa. He said to her, I'm going to do something exciting with her now. Are you coming with me? Miss Jiang's expression was complicated and distressed. There was no one like Sheng Xiao, who was unrestrained and unafraid of offending anyone. But it was precisely because of his terrible character that he attracted a lot of attention. In the end, Sheng Xiao went to Jing Yun's side, because he knew that Jing Yun had informed Papa Mu that Sheng Xiao must leave at once. Nonetheless, when they left the hotel, Sheng Xiao told Jing Yun, get out of the car. Young master, even if you're going to see Miss Mu Qiqi, you still have to take care of things, or I'll be troubled. Jing Yun's excuse for having Sheng Xiao come out was that there was an emergency that Sheng Xiao had to deal with immediately. Sheng Xiao said nothing, and simply waved at Jing Yun, gesturing for him to go home by himself. After that, Sheng Xiao drove to the small mansion, and sent his little one a text message when he got downstairs. Moments later, Mu Qiqi jogged into the car, the fragrance of her body still lingering in Sheng Xiao's nostrils. Still, it was much more relaxing than the expensive perfumes that women wore, and Sheng Xiao couldn't help putting his hand on Mu Qiqi's shoulder. It smells so good. Use this from now on, and don't change it. Mu Qiqi knew at once when she saw his retro black suit that he had come from some big occasion. Are you not busy? Sheng Xiao retracted his head and said proudly, Then I'm leaving. Don't go. Muchichi quickly grabbed him. It wasn't easy for me to see you. Aren't you afraid of your aunt? Sheng Xiao glanced sideways at her and asked. I'm scared. But I can't control my heart either. Your heart is already under my control, Sheng Xiao told her directly. When Muchichi heard that, she immediately lowered her head and muttered, What about your heart? Pretending not to hear it, Sheng Xiao leaned on Muchichi's shoulder and closed his eyes to rest. Muchichi did not ask further, because she knew that it was one-sided. She wanted to like him, and even if he did not respond, her heart would not change. After a long while, Sheng Xiao spoke again. Don't forget your past and your dreams because of me. Muchichi was a little disappointed at that, but she quickly took out a small gift box from her pocket and gave it to Sheng Xiao. This is for you. What is it? Sheng Xiao took it and opened it to see that it was a cufflink. He looked very used to it. I made it myself, Muchichi added. Sheng Xiao simply put it in his coat pocket and said nothing else, turning to Muchichi. Go back. Your aunt will come looking for you later. Xiao Xiao. Aren't you afraid? Muchichi sat in the car and did not move. It was then that Sheng Xiao reached out and hooked his arm around her neck, pulling her closer. I've told you before. Don't think about getting out alone, since you dragged me into hell. I didn't want to get out alone, Muchichi said, feeling wronged. But I don't dare to ask anything from Xiao Xiao. I can only be careful. Perhaps drunk. Sheng Xiao simply picked Muchichi up and placed her on his lap. Muchichi did a double take. She had never sat on Sheng Xiao in such a position. Even so, they could clearly feel each other's warmth. Muchichi could also smell the scent of red wine on Sheng Xiao's body. You drank. Sheng Xiao was about to say something when he saw someone passing by the woods. He quickly put Muchichi back on her seat and said to her after the person left, Go back. I'll come back tomorrow night. Okay. Muchichi nodded. Then, she opened the door and got out of the car. She watched as Sheng Xiao drove away, feeling complicated and upset. It was clearly shameful and she had to be careful. Why did she plunge headfirst into it? Soon Muchichi returned to her room. Sheng Xiao did not react even after she gave him the gift. He probably would not like something made by a child like her. In fact, she would not know that Sheng Xiao parked his car by the roadside after he left the little mansion. He took out a small box from his coat and touched the cufflinks inside. After all, it was the first time Sheng Xiao had received something made by someone else since he was a child. Although the design of the cufflinks was not very impressive and even looked adorably ugly, Sheng Xiao put them in the pocket of his suit, close to his heart. The next day, when Muchichi went downstairs, Suzy Pei was ready to go to Eton to make Muchichi proud. Muchichi quickly gave her a thumbs up when she saw that Suzy Pei was dressed in luxury goods. You're so beautiful today. It's good that you like it. But it's too expensive, and I'm afraid I'll break it. Don't be nervous, Aunt Pei. Just do as Xiao. Brother Xiao said last night. Muchichi told Suzy Pei. Don't worry, it won't break. Suzy Pei smiled and poked Muchichi's nose. Don't worry. I know what to do. I won't drop the ball when it matters. Muchichi made an okay gesture and left the little mansion with Suzy Pei after breakfast. Even old Lin was impressed by Suzy Pei. You're very beautiful today, Miss Su. Suzy Pei smiled at old Lin as Sheng Xiao taught her. That was how one's temperament came to be. Soon they got into the car. Still Muchichi, who had just told Suzy Pei not to be nervous, was now nervous herself. Chapter 51. When they arrived at Eton's gates, Suzy Pei and Muchichi got out of their respective cars and walked side by side towards the gates. The designer had trained Suzy Pei on how to walk properly, and though it was only for a short time, Suzy Pei remembered the essentials. In short, she had to walk with her head held high, and posture was very important. It was the most direct expression of a woman's dignity. Muchichi looked around to observe the attention of the students, and found that they were staring at Suzy Pei from time to time. There was no mockery in their eyes but amazement. Even the principal, who was passing by, noticed Suzy Pei and Muchichi's footsteps when he saw them walking past him. Are you all right? Suzy Pei quickly asked Muchichi when there was no one around. Muchichi smiled and gave her a thumbs up. Suzy Pei held Muchichi's shoulder and they arrived at the gates of the classroom. Most of the students and their parents were already there, including Mu Tongxue and her mother, who had wanted to wake up early to watch Mu Qiqi make a fool of herself. Who knew Mama Mu was shocked when Su Zipei entered the classroom wearing a black coat and holding a diamond-studded handbag. She could not believe her eyes. Su Zipei was younger than most of the parents present, and a few years younger than Mama Mu herself. She was certainly more eye-catching than Mama Mu, with her meticulous dressing and outstanding presence. Shue, is that your aunt? Mu Tongxue nodded and turned to her mother. Yes, Mommy. I can't believe it. Mama Mu's chest was overflowing with indignation. Mu Qiqi deliberately observed the mother and daughter's expressions and sneered. Sometimes, she could not help but wonder if she was born from her aunt, and had nothing to do with the mother and daughter. Qian quickly approached Mu Qiqi when she saw her at her seat. Your aunt is so beautiful. What are you afraid of? That's because you haven't seen how shameless some people are. I'm afraid that my aunt will be bullied. Mu Qiqi answered Qian quietly. Don't be afraid. Mommy and I are on your side. Hence, while everyone was waiting for their parents, Mama Mu quickly went to Su Zipei and told her, Look, my sister looks extraordinary after dressing up. Even so, Su Zipei simply ignored Mama Mu. She simply held Mu Qiqi's shoulder and chatted happily with both of them. Utterly embarrassed, Mama Mu could only return to Mu Tongxue's side. That was when the other parents around them couldn't help laughing. After all, Su Zipei never even looked at Mama Mu. It was Qianqian's mother who asked, The bag in your hand? Mama Mu sneered at the side. After all, Su Zipei was a fat man who had been beaten up. He was only putting on a show. Perhaps he had even borrowed the bag, or bought a fake one. How would he know the origin of such an expensive bag? Even a noblewoman like her who had been married to a rich family for many years would not be able to recognize those famous brands. However, Mama Mu did not expect that. Su Zipei smiled at him and then said, That's right. The Queen of England once mentioned something similar. There are only two in the world. One is in the Queen's house, and the other is in my hands. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Su Zipei lifted the bag and told Qianqian's mother, Do you want to take a look? Is it really convenient? Qianqian's mother was flattered. Of course, Su Zipei said as she handed her purse to him. Qianqian carefully took it and flipped through it. Then Mama Mu said, Why not? It's all fake. Fake. To tell the truth, my sister wouldn't be able to afford such a bag with her status. Mama Mu interrupted. Mama Mu interrupted. How could a woman who lives in the slums and who has to deal with bedbugs afford such an expensive handbag? Don't forget where you come from before you talk about me. Su Zipei retorted softly. Are you going to tell everyone that you come from the slums too? Mama Mu's face reddened at once. If you could marry into a rich family, why can't I? Su Zipei asked in return. Or do you feel uncomfortable because I'm younger and prettier than you? Mama Mu's face turned from crimson to red. Well, which rich man did you marry, Aunt Zipei? We could visit him some other day. Mu Tongxue quickly helped her mother out of the predicament. There's no need for that since we don't know each other that well. But a few months ago, wasn't my uncle still a hooligan who owed money everywhere and never returned it? What? Do I have to ask for your opinion before I remarry? Su Zipei asked in return. I thought that the Mu family wouldn't be so arrogant after not seeing each other for so long. I didn't expect that you're still pushing me so hard. Is that how your family has been taught? The other parents watched as the two exchanged blows as if they were watching a show. Of course, the others could tell that Mama Mu had been causing trouble for Su Zipei. She was simply mocking Qianqian's background. Qianqian's mother, however, had the same temperament as Qianqian and could not bear to see someone she liked being bullied. She quickly said, Since Madame Mu says that this is a fake bag, please tell me if you recognize it. Mama Mu was left speechless at that. Although Mama Mu had married into a rich family for many years, Papa Mu had always been strict with her. She was only responsible for taking care of her husband and children at home, and had no time to study such things. What she recognized were merely the branded ones she often used. It seems that you don't know Madame Mu. But how do you know that it's a fake bag? Zipei knows that I'm usually too concerned about my children to pay attention to such things. Then why would you mock someone else for a fake bag? Qianqian's mother challenged Mama Mu. Mama Mu stuttered, unable to answer. That was when Su Zipei smiled and stopped arguing with Mama Mu. In that very moment, Mama Mu wanted to dig a hole and hide in it, because it was too embarrassing. Mu Tongxue felt as if she had lost all face. Meanwhile, Mu Qiqi looked around for Papa Mu. Mu Tongxue had said that her parents would be there. But where was Papa Mu? It was weird that Papa Mu would attend such an event for Mu Tongxue. But Mu Qiqi knew it very well. As for Mu Tongxue, she should have understood what it meant to be oppressed by force, right? Today's event was one such example. Mu Qiqi loved her aunt too much. Because of that, Su Zipei was completely calm in such an occasion, and her aura did not lose out to the others. It did not matter if she lost face or not. But she loved seeing her aunt dazzling like that. Xiao Xiao was really amazing. He could actually turn something rotten into something magical. Chapter 52. Soon the teacher entered the classroom. After exchanging greetings with the parents, other than communicating with them on how to guide their children in choosing a major and how to ease their children's nervousness, he also said something very important, and that was the guaranteed admission. The teacher's gaze was clearly on Mu Qiqi when she mentioned the words guaranteed admission. Her current results, as well as the important mathematics competition awards that she had won, were enough for her to qualify as a guaranteed student. Qiqi, it seems that the teacher has decided to recommend you, Qian whispered into her ear. I can't tell, Mu Qiqi replied. Can't you tell? With your results, it's only a matter of time before you're guaranteed a spot. No matter what, it won't be your mediocre sister's turn. When Qian said this, she deliberately raised her voice, so that the mother and daughter could hear her. Mu Tongxue turned to look at Qian. There was an indescribable emotion in her eyes, but Qian stuck her tongue out at her. I'm going to piss you off if you can't get the guaranteed admission. That was the other reason Su Zipei could hold her head high in Eton. Mu Qiqi's excellent results were obvious to all. She had been suppressed before, but now, she was shining like a shining gold in Eton. On the other hand, Mu Tongxue, who had so many advantages before, could only produce mediocre results in Eton. That left Mama Mu unable to lift her head. On the other hand, Mu Tongxue was definitely inferior to Mu Qiqi in every aspect. Mommy, I'm sorry. Mu Tongxue apologized to Mama Mu insincerely. It's my fault I've embarrassed you. We'll talk about that later. Mama Mu had suffered enough today. Su Zipei alone had already upset her, and now there was Mu Qiqi as well. It was clearly the same upbringing. But when Mu Qiqi was in the Mu family, she could be said to have done all sorts of evil deeds. But after leaving the Mu family, she actually became so outstanding. Wasn't this a harsh slap to her face? Yes, Mommy. Mu Tongxue knew that she was at a disadvantage today, so she did not want to say anything else. Soon, the whole class was discussing about the guaranteed admission and how beautiful Mu Qiqi's aunt was, completely disregarding the Mu family's mother and daughter. Mama Mu could not stand such contempt, and could only find an excuse to leave the parent-teacher conference before it was over. Qian snorted when she saw Mu Tongxue sprawled on the desk all alone. White Lotus Mu deserves it. At that, Mu Tongxue resented her mother for abandoning her in such an occasion. Mu Qiqi didn't say anything. She just held Su Zipei's right hand tightly. The relationship between them was self-evident. They were even closer than mother and daughter. After the parent-teacher conference, Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei were invited to the school office, because he wanted to discuss the recommendation with Mu Qiqi. Qiqi, based on your current results, you will definitely be able to get into Shengting University. However, you might not be able to choose your faculty. Are you willing to go? Shengting University. Mu Qiqi was stunned when she heard the name of the school. Although Su Zipei's eyes were full of anticipation, Mu Qiqi still shook her head. Teacher, I want to take the exam myself. I want to choose my own faculty. The teacher was puzzled. Are you sure? If you missed the recommendation, it might not be that safe for you to take the exam yourself. Teacher, I just want to achieve my goal through my own hard work. Mu Qiqi answered firmly. If you don't like Shengting University, Where do you want to go? It's not that I don't like Shengting University. I just want to prove myself. Mu Qiqi corrected herself. I'm letting you down. Actually, I expected it. Since you have made up your mind, I won't force you. Good luck, Qiqi. Mu Qiqi nodded. When Sheng Xiao spent the whole night looking for the faculty for her, she had already decided to try her best to get into that faculty. So, Mu Qiqi did not want the recommendation. When they left the teacher's office, Su Zipei asked Mu Qiqi pitifully, "What if I make a mistake? Aunt Zipei, can you trust me? Moreover, this is my own life. I will try my best to plan it well." "All right." Su Zipei nodded. No one noticed that Mu Tongxue was pretending to knock on the door, but was actually eavesdropping on them. Unexpectedly, Mu Qiqi was so confident that she wanted to get into Shengting University by herself. Did she think it was that easy? No matter what, she must get the recommendation. Not only because she wanted to get into the best university, but also because it belonged to Mu Qiqi. No matter what, Mu Qiqi and Su Zipei were in the limelight in this parent-teacher conference. Mu Tongxue was even mocked by others. Qian Qian sighed when she thought of Mu Tongxue being alone in the parent-teacher conference. I have never seen a mother like this. She threw her daughter here as a shield when she lost face. How could she do that? You are lucky that you left the Mu family. No wonder Mu Tongxue is a psychopath. No one in the Mu family is normal. She has no sense of responsibility at all. She has been like this ever since she married into the Mu family. Her husband is strict, and she has no opinions of her own. Mu Qiqi answered Qian Qian. She can sacrifice her daughter for her own benefit. Well, Mu Tongxue isn't having a good time in the Mu family either. Of course. Mu Qiqi thought that Mu Tongxue had to bear all the negative emotions of the family after she left the Mu family. Did Mu Tongxue think that she could become the darling of the family? Mu Qiqi understood everything. And the first thing she did after school in the evening was to text Xiao Xiao, telling him everything that happened in the parent-teacher conference today. I've never been so excited. I feel like I'm floating when I see you shining so brightly, Aunt Zipei. Knowing the little one's pride, Sheng Xiao smiled devilishly. Remember to repay me. I'll repay you then. Then, Mu Qiqi told Sheng Xiao about her rejection of the recommendation. I think I'm a little silly, but I still want to rely on myself. You have the ability, Sheng Xiao replied simply. Xiao Xiao, I want to see you now. I feel happier than I have ever been. Mu Qiqi typed as she got out of the car. It was only then that she noticed that Sheng Xiao's car was parked outside the little mansion. Chapter 53. Xiao. Brother Xiao. At the moment, Sheng Xiao was sitting in the living room, flipping through the television as he pleased. Wash your hands. It's almost time for dinner. Su Zipei came out of the kitchen and told Mu Qiqi, who had lunged at her, before turning to enter the kitchen. Mu Qiqi walked up to Sheng Xiao, seizing the opportunity to hold his right hand. But she let go a second later, afraid that Su Zipei would notice. I'm going to change. Sheng Xiao gestured for her to hurry with his chin, his eyes unconsciously showing a hint of indulgence. Soon, Mu Qiqi changed and went downstairs. Su Zipei had already prepared the cutlery, and Sheng Xiao sat down at the dining table. Thank you so much, young Master Sheng. If it wasn't for you, our Mu Qiqi would have been bullied. Su Zipei thanked Sheng Xiao even as she took a seat. Look at you. You spend money and work hard. We really don't know how to repay you. It's fine. Mu Qiqi can pay me back in the future. Sheng Xiao replied nonchalantly. On the surface, it sounded as if he was waiting for Mu Qiqi to grow up and work. Still, only Mu Qiqi and Sheng Xiao knew the meaning behind his words. That was why Mu Qiqi blushed. To hide her blush, she had to bury her head in her bowl and pretend to be hungry. This child eats slowly. Sheng Xiao tilted his head and looked at Mu Qiqi. He smiled and continued eating. After a while, Mu Qiqi finished eating and quickly said to the two of them, I'm done eating. I'll go upstairs to study. Young Master Sheng, please don't forgive her. You've spoiled her rotten. It's good that she's spoiled, Sheng Xiao said with a hidden meaning. I've told you before that I hope she can do whatever she wants in Jianchuan. That's not right. You're going to get married and have children, and you can't stay by her side forever. You've done enough for us, young Master Sheng. I have nothing else to ask for, and I'm willing to work like a horse for you in the next life. Sheng Xiao did not reply. In fact, the answer in his mind was that he did not want to work like a horse in the next life. That was too far away. All he wanted was Mu Qiqi, and nothing else. Soon, Sheng Xiao finished his meal and left. Because it was still early, he went back to Huang Yao to settle his own business first. At around 9 o'clock, he returned to the small villa. Mu Qiqi quietly left the house after receiving Sheng Xiao's message. After Mu Qiqi got into his car, Sheng Xiao drove her away from the small mansion. This time, the two of them did not go to an amusement park or a small forest. Instead, they went to the highest peak of Jianchuan to watch the night view. She could only sit in the car because it was too cold, but she was very excited to be able to overlook all of Jianchuan. Xiao Xiao, Sheng Xiao did not say a word. He simply carried Mu Qiqi and placed her on his thighs. Mu Qiqi sat on him and wrapped her arms around his neck. Neither of them said a word, as if they were enjoying the intimacy of the moment. Once you get into Shengting University's engineering faculty, I'll prepare a place to welcome you outside the campus, Sheng Xiao suddenly said after a while. You mean? Although Mu Qiqi understood, she could not believe it. So she wanted to confirm it again. I won't repeat myself. Sheng Xiao was not that patient. Is that a promise to me? Mu Qiqi mustered her courage and asked Sheng Xiao. Can I take it that way? Sheng Xiao moved closer to Mu Qiqi, so that she had no chance to escape. He stared into her eyes and said, Do you think you can still run away? I'm not running away, but do we have to live together in university? Sheng Xiao could not help laughing at Mu Qiqi's words. Mu Qiqi was head over heels for him. Live together? What's in your head all day? Mu Qiqi felt that she was being teased. She turned her face away and ignored Sheng Xiao. Sheng Xiao was about to let go of her, but Mu Qiqi quickly clung to him. I was wrong, all right? Xiao Xiao. I just can't believe it. I don't even dare to think about it. I want to be by your side so much, but sometimes, I feel that it's a dream that's impossible to realize. You're already on the way to hell. What's there to be afraid of? Sheng Xiao asked Mu Qiqi teasingly. You're already bad. Do you think that the outcome would be different if you hold back? Mu Qiqi thought about it and nodded. You're right. The cold wind was blowing against her face. It was bone-chilling, but Sheng Xiao's kiss made Mu Qiqi's entire body heat up. She liked Sheng Xiao so much. She was so infatuated with him that she wouldn't have any complaints even if she had to go to hell for this moment. Soon, Sheng Xiao brought Mu Qiqi back to the little mansion. If anyone had noticed Mu Qiqi's lips, they would have known what she had done just now. However, Mu Qiqi was not so lucky this time. She had sneaked into the house and did not notice Su Zipei standing by the kitchen door. It was only when she went upstairs that she heard the sound of the door closing downstairs. Mu Qiqi's heart raced. Could Su Zipei have seen her coming out? Mu Qiqi quickly called Sheng Xiao. Xiao Xiao. Aunt Zipei seems to have seen me coming home. Would she find out about us? Why did you come out to meet me if you're so afraid of being found out? Xiao Xiao. Mu Qiqi begged Sheng Xiao softly. Sheng Xiao had no choice but to tell Mu Qiqi, Go to sleep. I'll think of something. Mu Qiqi nodded. Although she was destined to have insomnia that night, she could not think of anything with her brain. Su Zipei had indeed seen Mu Qiqi carefully entering the house with her own eyes. She was shocked, and remembered what Mu Tongxue had told her about a man who often brought Mu Qiqi out, and bought her all sorts of things. Could Mu Qiqi really be hiding something from her? At that thought, Su Zipei quickly took out the diary pages from the bedside table, and read through them. But she did not find anything out of the ordinary after that. Although Mu Qiqi mentioned a boy from time to time, it was just as Mu Qiqi had told Su Zipei. It was all boys in school. Still, who was Mu Qiqi meeting when she sneaked out just now? Sheng Xiao had just appeared in the afternoon, which was why it could not be him. Could Mu Qiqi really have a sugar daddy? That was impossible. Su Zipei knew that she would not be able to get anything out of Mu Qiqi, which was why she pretended that it never happened. Meanwhile, Mu Qiqi was calm the next day. Xiao Xiao had told her that she must not feel guilty even if something was exposed, or it would be the same as admitting it. Morning, Auntie Pei. Mu Chi-Chi appeared no different from any other day when she came out of her bedroom. Chapter 54. On the other hand, both Mu Tongxue and Mama Mu were keeping quiet after their embarrassment at the parent-teacher conference yesterday. None of them had the courage to tell Papa Mu, since Mu Tongxue's results were not presentable, and Mama Mu was humiliated at the conference. When Papa Mu asked, Mu Tongxue told him about the recommendation. After all, the teacher did not announce who the student was, and she overheard Mu Chi-Chi refusing the recommendation when she was outside the teacher's office. That was why Mu Tongxue hinted that Papa Mu could help her fight for the spot. Even if her grades were not the best, she had won many awards. If the teacher was not biased, it would not be too difficult for her to get the recommendation. Of course, Papa Mu had to communicate with the school first. Papa Mu nodded as he sipped his coffee. I promised to go with you to the parent-teacher conference yesterday, but I broke my promise because of work. To compensate my obedient daughter, I'll definitely help you with the recommendation. It's an honor for the Mu family. Papa Mu promised Mu Tongxue himself. He even called his secretary and asked him to make sure that Mu Tongxue got the recommendation. Mu Tongxue was secretly delighted. Thanks, Dad. In fact, everyone believed that Mu Chi-Chi would be the one to be recommended. If Mu Tongxue was the one who got it, she would feel that she was stealing something that belonged to Mu Chi-Chi. No one would know that Mu Chi-Chi refused the recommendation herself. After all, Mu Chi-Chi would be scolded for being virtuous. On the other hand, after Mu Chi-Chi left the house, Suzy Pei quietly entered Mu Chi-Chi's room. She rummaged through the place where girls hid their secrets, but did not find anything suspicious. However, she saw that the sapphire hair ornament and the Christmas gloves were left on the desk. She did not pick them up. Of course, she did not have any impression of those things. Could those be the gifts from that man? Suzy Pei did not move and left Mu Chi-Chi's room so that she would not notice. But Mu Chi-Chi knew very well that if Suzy Pei really saw her coming home last night, she would definitely go to her room to check on her. However, Mu Chi-Chi chose not to react because Sheng Xiao had already prepared a countermeasure for her. However, she might not be able to sneak out at night to meet Xiao Xiao for the next few days. In the school, the topic of guaranteed entry was still being discussed. There were many people who were eager for those places, but Mu Chi-Chi had already rejected them herself. Papa Mu's secretary had visited Eton 3 times, hoping that the school would fairly evaluate Mu Tongxue's recommendation. Although the teacher did not like Mu Tongxue, she still checked her personal information impartially. Indeed, she was recommended by Shengting University. The Mu family only hoped that Eton would not be biased against Mu Tongxue because of Mu Chi-Chi, since the academy had stopped her from entering Eton before. Papa Mu's secretary used that as an excuse to ask the school to reconsider. In the end, the school relented. Either way, the recommendation still depended on the National Education Department's review, which was why recommending Mu Tongxue now was not a big deal. The teacher recommended Mu Tongxue reluctantly, but at the same time, she had greater hopes for Mu Chi-Chi. She hoped that Mu Chi-Chi would do well. As such, the teacher gave Mu Chi-Chi a heads-up, and Mu Tongxue was already on the list of recommended spots. Mu Chi-Chi was uncomfortable, but she was the one who rejected it, and she had no right to be upset. Moreover, Suzy Pei noticed her going out last night, which left Mu Chi-Chi depressed. She did not know if she could see Xiao Xiao that night. In the evening, Mu Chi-Chi returned home from school, but did not see Old Lin's car when she stepped out of the school gates. Mu Chi-Chi was about to call Old Lin when she saw Sheng Xiao's call. Same place. Waiting for you. Sheng Xiao was referring to the same place where he had camped Mu Tongxue. Mu Chi-Chi promptly ran there and got into Sheng Xiao's car when no one was looking. Xiao Xiao, where's Uncle Lin? I've talked to your aunt. I'm taking you out for dinner tonight, Sheng Xiao told Mu Chi-Chi. Mu Chi-Chi was delighted to see Sheng Xiao. She thought she would not be able to sneak out at night to meet Xiao Xiao anymore. Moreover, when Sheng Xiao mentioned that he was taking Mu Chi-Chi out at the small mansion, Suzy Pei had specifically asked him if he knew about Mu Chi-Chi's sapphire hair accessory. Sheng Xiao explained, It's the one she wore to the birthday party on her 18th birthday. Suzy Pei thought about it and realized that it was true. Then I've misunderstood. Suzy Pei murmured. Young Master Sheng, did you notice that Mu Qiqi was in contact with someone other than you? No. With that, Sheng Xiao drove away from the small mansion and headed towards Eton. And Suzy Pei did notice it. Even so, Suzy Pei did not suspect that it was Sheng Xiao. In fact, she hoped that Sheng Xiao would bring Mu Qiqi around more often, because that would prevent her from meeting random people. Where are we going for dinner? Mu Qiqi appeared excited. Did you know? I thought I wouldn't be able to meet you tonight. Sheng Xiao brought Mu Qiqi to their usual spot, the revolving restaurant in the amusement park. In the VIP room, Mu Qiqi promptly sat beside Sheng Xiao. Xiao Xiao, give me a hug. Sheng Xiao reached out and placed her on his thighs. Mu Qiqi promptly wrapped her arms around his neck and refused to let go. I've worked hard all day just to hug you and absorb your energy. Sheng Xiao ignored her and continued to put food in his mouth. Mu Qiqi quickly said at that. Don't eat. Wait for me. Sheng Xiao did not say a word. Instead, he simply cupped Mu Qiqi's head and sent the food into her mouth with a kiss. Mu Qiqi's face was burning, but she was enjoying the sweetness and ambiguity between her and Sheng Xiao at the same time. She was simply addicted. Then, Sheng Xiao leaned Mu Qiqi back on the table and kissed her until they couldn't breathe. Stroking Mu Qiqi's swollen lips, Sheng Xiao said longingly, I wouldn't have let you go so easily if you hadn't gone to university. Mu Qiqi understood what he meant and said, I can do it now. Chapter 55. Mu Qiqi looked at Sheng Xiao from the side, her heart overflowing with happiness at the man she liked to the marrow of her bones. By the way, Xiao Xiao, my teacher told me that the school has given Mu Tongxue a recommendation. Sheng Xiao turned to look at her at that. Are you sure? Yes. Sheng Xiao said nothing else, and focused on his meal, occasionally feeding Mu Qiqi some food he had cut from his plate. Spoiling this little thing made him feel happy all over. Although the little one was still young, and her temperament was uncertain, and her liking might just be temporary admiration, Sheng Xiao did not intend to play around. The little one was not going anywhere for the rest of her life. After dinner, Sheng Xiao went to the washroom. In fact, he had called Jing Yun and told Eaton to cancel Mu Tongshua's recommendation no matter what. Even if his Qiqi did not want it, Mu Tongxue had no right to take advantage of it. After dinner, the two leaned against each other and watched the night view of the amusement park. Sheng Xiao's exhaustion seemed to have faded away as well, and he was completely relaxed. He was a man who should be attending high-class banquets, but he seemed to prefer staying by his little one's side, because he knew that right now, he had the brightest time and the best of her life. Soon after nightfall, Mu Qiqi had to return to the small mansion. Although she could not see Sheng Xiao at night, she felt energized after the kiss just now. Good night, Xiao Xiao. Sheng Xiao did not let her go at once, but hooked his arm around her waist and pulled her closer, before whispering seductively into her ear. Hurry up and go to college. Mu Qiqi knew what that was, and quickly freed herself from his arms, running all the way back to the small mansion. Sheng Xiao followed her, and they stayed in the mansion for a few minutes, before returning to the Sheng residence. That was why Suzy Pei was even more at ease. When they reached home, Sheng Xiao found his mother sitting in his room, holding the cufflinks Mu Qiqi had made. He quickly snatched it and put it back into the box. Since when did you learn to take things without asking, Mom? Where did you get this cheap thing? You're still treating it like a treasure. A child gave it to me. Sheng Xiao put the cufflinks in the drawer and turned to his mother. What's the matter? You haven't been around at night recently. Your father can't find you. Mama Sheng replied. Eighth brother, it's time to think about your life. Sheng Xiao sat on the sofa and leaned back. Mom, to tell you the truth, I like men. Mama Sheng was stunned when she heard that. What nonsense are you talking about? I will definitely get married before I turn 28. You don't have to rush me anymore. Sheng Xiao answered Mama Sheng subconsciously. Are you satisfied now? Mama Sheng nodded in satisfaction. That's more like it. Your father has something to discuss with you and your brothers. Pack up and go. Sheng Xiao nodded. After Mama Sheng left, he took out the cufflinks from the drawer and studied them carefully. There were piles of diamonds at home, but he just had to like such a broken toy. Perhaps he was born to like being abused. In the small villa, Suzy Pei did not ask Mu Qiqi about what happened last night. Mu Qiqi also pretended that nothing happened and pretended that she did not know anything. Suzy Pei wanted to ask, but she was afraid of hurting Mu Qiqi. Until 2 days later, before Mu Qiqi went to school, she took out a gift box from her back and gave it to Suzy Pei. Happy birthday, Auntie Pei. Suzy Pei looked at the box in surprise and asked Mu Qiqi, "Thank you, my Qiqi. Open it quickly. I went out late at night to choose this gift. I went to many places with Qian. See if you like it." After hearing Mu Qiqi's words, Suzy Pei suddenly remembered that Mu Qiqi came back very late a few nights ago. Could it be that she was preparing a birthday gift for her? Was it that night 3 days ago? How did you know? Mu Qiqi pretended to be surprised. "I saw you coming home." Suzy Pei was relieved because Mu Qiqi did not go out to meet a man. She was preparing a birthday gift for her. Moreover, Mu Qiqi did not go out except to eat with Sheng Xiao. How could there be a strange man? Mu Qiqi smiled and helped Suzy Pei open the gift. She saw a cherry blossom brooch and held it in her hand, unable to put it down. "Qiqi gave it to me. I would like it no matter what." Mu Qiqi felt sorry for Suzy Pei because she did not dare to take the risk and tell her about Sheng Xiao. She was afraid that her aunt would object and stop her. Apart from that, she would do anything for Suzy Pei. That morning, Suzy Pei was very touched and Mu Qiqi was very happy. But when they arrived at school, Mu Tongxue stood at the door of the classroom with a face full of hatred. She glared at Mu Qiqi. "I have something to say to you. Say it here." Mu Qiqi did not want to give Mu Tongxue a chance to play tricks. "Sister, are you sure you want to say it here?" Mu Tongxue's eyes were cold as if she was provoked. Mu Qiqi nodded and did not show any weakness. "Do you think we need to be so polite with each other?" "All right." Mu Tongxue turned away and appeared to be calming her emotions. Then she suddenly asked Mu Qiqi, "You're the murderer of Grandma. How much more do you want to hurt the Mu family? It's fine if you don't want the recommendation, but why are you stopping me from getting it? What nonsense are you talking about?" Mu Qiqi retorted, "You dare say you didn't kill Grandma? You're a murderer. The Mu family chased you out of the family because you killed Grandma. Do you dare to admit that?" Mu Tongxue was completely hysterical when she said those words. She had probably reached the limit of her endurance and was suppressed to the limit by Mu Qiqi. The recommendation that was almost in the bag was gone just like that. If it was not Mu Qiqi's doing, what else could it be? At worst, they could just fight to the death. She was having a hard time at home anyway, and they might as well suffer together. The students crowded around Mu Tongxue because of what she said. "What are you looking at? Mu Qiqi is the murderer. She killed her own grandma. Is this your true face?" Mu Qiqi asked in return. "You're finally taking off your mask? So it turns out that the weak young miss can also yell and shout, and also look at others with a malicious gaze. She can also be angry? I thought you wouldn't lose your temper for the rest of your life. Mu Qiqi, I've had enough of you." Mu Tongxue said agitatedly. "What right do you have to take away what belongs to me? What belongs to you?" Mu Qiqi retorted. "You're too confident. I don't care. You murderer, I'll tell the whole world that you killed Grandma." Mu Tongxue was completely out of control now. She wanted to blow up the matter that Papa Mu had tried so hard to suppress. And she wanted Mu Qiqi to have no place in school. Chapter 56. However, Mu Tongxue clearly did not think about what would happen to her next. Papa Mu had paid a heavy price to keep the matter under wraps, but now that Mu Qiqi had made it public as she pleased, it was clear that she had been left helpless by Mu Qiqi's repeated counterattacks. That was why causing Grandma's death was the only move she could use against Mu Qiqi. Still, she had clearly misjudged the present situation. It was not because Mu Qiqi was afraid that Grandma Mu's death would be exposed. After all, Sheng Xiao had warned Mu Qiqi many times that the Sheng family had lawyers who could deal with Mu Tongxue. That was why Mu Qiqi did not feel any fear at all. Instead, she smiled at Mu Tongxue. Mu Tongxue, you should prepare to collect your own corpse now that you've exposed the matter. I'm going to tell the world that you killed Grandma. Mu Tongxue insisted stubbornly. By then, more students were gathering around them. But Mu Qiqi was not fearful of being accused at all. She even smiled. You're saying that I killed Grandma? Well, I've been wanting to call the police for a long time and have them investigate the matter. I'll have Aunt Zipe call the police now. Since you want to make a big deal out of it, no one would be able to get away scot-free. With those words, Mu Qiqi whipped out her phone and called Su Zipe. Aunt Zipe, Mu Tongxue has exposed what happened to Grandma. Let's call the police. Mu Tongxue, on the other hand, was frightened when she saw that Mu Qiqi was not at all fearful, because she could feel the panic after getting into trouble. She had thought that Mu Qiqi would run away in fright, but Mu Qiqi's reaction was completely unexpected. Aunt Zipe has called the police. Mu Tongxue panicked when she saw Mu Qiqi raise her phone. Call the police then. Everyone in the family knows that you killed Grandma anyway. At those words, Mu Qiqi inched forward and glared at her sister. Do you have proof? There were only 2 of us in the room. I saw you feed Grandma the medicine with my own eyes. You said it yourself. There were only the 2 of us in the room. Your ability to pretend to be innocent is obvious to everyone. I clearly remember that when you fed the wrong medicine, your panicked expression was almost the same as now. With that, Mu Qiqi smiled at Mu Tongxue. We've already prepared a lawyer. Since you've blown things up, the lawyer will go to the Mu family later. Mu Tongxue paled when she heard that the lawyer was going to the Mu family. Since the matter has already been exposed, then it won't be that easy to wrap things up. The whole city will know about the Mu family scandal very soon. By that time, the shares of Mu Group will fall. I'm not in the Mu family anymore, so it doesn't matter. But what about you? Mu Tongxue stumbled and lost her footing, falling awkwardly onto the ground. Meanwhile, Mu Qiqi sneered and turned to face the surrounding students. I'm sorry, everyone. It's just a family scandal. However, everyone will know about it through the news in the future. So, I won't explain any further. With that, Mu Qiqi walked out of the crowd, with Qian Qian following her not far behind. Qian Qian jogged to catch up with Mu Qiqi, and could not help asking along the way. And here I was wondering why you 2 sisters were like fire and water. So it's because of Grandma. She's framed me for too many things. And this incident is the trigger for everything. Your sister is a pervert from start to finish. Qian Qian said, expressing her own feelings. Mu Qiqi laughed coldly, and calmly sent Sheng Xiao a text message when she sat down in the classroom. Meanwhile, Mu Tongxue was dumbfounded. She realized that she had been too impulsive and caused a disaster. What should she do now? At that very thought, she quickly called Mama Mu, her voice clearly tearing. Mommy, I've caused trouble. Mama Mu was shocked too when she heard Mu Tongxue's words. Fortunately, it was only spread within the school, and the matter was not blown out of proportion. Mama Mu thought that as long as Mu Qiqi did not pursue the matter could be suppressed before Papa Mu found out. What are you spacing out for? There's no one else but your sister can save you now. Hurry up and beg her not to blow things up. Your father would skin you alive if he finds out. Why are you so impulsive, dear? Begging Mu Qiqi? Wouldn't that be worse than killing her? Still, Mu Tongxue shuddered at the thought of Papa Mu's face. She dared not think about anything else, and promptly headed for the classroom. It was already time for class. Mu Tongxue walked to Mu Qiqi's side, and reached out to grab her arm. Sis, I was too angry just now, and said something I shouldn't have. I apologize, please forgive me. Mu Qiqi nodded. Mu Qiqi freed herself from Mu Tongxue's grip, and asked her in return. Didn't you say that you couldn't take it anymore? Didn't you say that I killed Grandma, and that the whole family knows? What? Now you realize that you said something you shouldn't have? Sis, I really didn't mean it. Please forgive me. Forgive. Mu Qiqi shot to her feet at that, and glared at Mu Tongxue. You're going to be in big trouble, and you're begging me for forgiveness now? However, I haven't forgotten how your little sister was able to deal fatal blows to me with every single move she made. I don't care what the Mu family wants. I don't care either. But Mu Tongxue, you keep challenging my bottom line. Do you really think that I'm still the same Mu Qiqi you bullied and took the blame for half a year ago? I must get justice for Grandma's death. Either you admit that you killed her, or get the hell back to your seat. Don't try to frame me and apologize to me at the same time. You're so hypocritical it makes me sick. Do you understand? Mu Tongxue was really frightened this time, and did not know what to do at all. Mu Qiqi would not budge at all. She could only hide in the washroom and call her mother. Mommy, sis won't budge. She said that she's going to get to the bottom of this. Mommy, what should I do? Don't panic. I'm coming to get you, and I'll bring you to your grandfather. He loves you the most, and he would definitely protect you. After the call, Mu Tongxue could only hide in the washroom, not daring to show herself because she had a guilty conscience. Mama Mu soon arrived at school, and found Mu Qiqi in class unscathed. In that very moment, she felt that Mu Qiqi was a cold-blooded demon. Chapter 57. Mu Qiqi watched as Mama Mu left with Mu Tongxue, but she did not care. She had once hoped that her mother would stand by her side and put in a good word for her, so that her father would not blame her. But Mama Mu had always stood by Mu Tongxue's side. Now, she wanted to know what tricks Mama Mu would play to protect Mu Tongxue. Now, the students of the school finally knew why the twins had fallen out with each other to such an extent. Because human lives were at stake. They blamed each other, and Mu Qiqi was chased out of the Mu family because of that. Twins were born. From then on, the fates of the two sisters underwent an earth-shattering change. Qian looked at Mu Qiqi after class, shaking her head. Your sister is such a pervert. She's so good at acting. No wonder you're the one chased out. That's in the past. Do you think I can tolerate her now? Mu Qiqi snorted coldly. Qian smiled but said nothing, and gave Mu Qiqi a thumbs up. Sheng Xiao soon read Mu Qiqi's message, and his lips curled into a playful smile. Since Mu Tongxue was so unwittingly seeking her own death, he would certainly fulfill her wish. Wouldn't he be wasting her good intentions otherwise? Mu Tongxue had bullied Mu Qiqi for so long, and Sheng Xiao had been waiting for this day for a long time. He had an agreement with Papa Mu that he could not reveal it. But now, if Mu Tongxue came to him on her own, and he did not seize the chance, he would be letting down her good intentions. That was why he quickly called Jing Yun, and had him call the police, and arrange for a lawyer and the media to make the Mu family pay the price. Soon, Papa Mu's secretary received a call from the police, saying that someone had reported a murder in the Mu family, and that the police were sending people to investigate the truth. Papa Mu's face fell at once. He rushed back to the Mu family without stopping, only to find that the police and the lawyer sent by Jing Yun were already waiting at the gates. Papa Mu had met the lawyer before, so he immediately told him, "You didn't abide by the contract. You said that these things wouldn't be made public. Mr. Mu, don't get angry. This has nothing to do with us. It was your daughter, Miss Mu Tongxue, who leaked the news. She said such things in front of the whole school today. Miss Mu Qiqi has no choice but to ask us to report this to the police to prove her innocence," Mu Tongxue said. The lawyer appeared to be explaining, but in fact, he was pushing all the blame to Mu Tongxue from the start. Papa Mu's face turned red when he heard that. He was probably furious. "You can suppress the matter. Mr. Mu, you have to know what kind of school Eton is. Every student has a powerful parent behind them. Do you think they can be suppressed if the news gets out?" The lawyer asked Papa Mu. "Be good. Please blame your daughter. Actually, we didn't want to come here." The lawyer was very smart. He shirked all responsibility very cleanly. Papa Mu suppressed his anger. All he cared about was whether this incident would be blown out of proportion, and whether Mu Group would be implicated. And where was that evil girl now? How daring of him to disregard his words. Then, the police asked about the incident. But Papa Mu told them, "There's no such thing. It's just a child's joke." "That won't do. What if your daughter slandered Miss Mu Qiqi in public again? What should we do then?" The lawyer did not let it go. If you can't cooperate, Mr. Mu, we can only send you a subpoena. The lawyer meant that he would have to go to the judge anyway. He would not let the matter go so easily. Furious, Papa Mu called Mama Mu right away. Why aren't you back yet? Bring that little bitch back. Look at what she has done. Mama Mu was trembling when she received the call. She was hiding with Mu Tongxue at Grandpa Mu's place. After school, Mu Qiqi got into Old Lin's car. She hugged Susie Pei when she got home. Aunt Zipei, good girl. You've suffered. Susie Pei could not help sighing. Can I go out with Brother Xiao tonight? I want to know what happened to the Mu family, and how Mu Tongxue is now. Mu Qiqi begged. I'll come back before midnight to celebrate your birthday with you. Silly girl. I've already received your gift. You can celebrate your birthday every day. Go. Susie Pei nodded. She knew that Sheng Xiao was the only one who could help Mu Qiqi now. Thank you, Aunt Zipei. Mu Qiqi called Sheng Xiao and went to the revolving restaurant in the amusement park alone to wait for him. Be a good girl and stay somewhere warm. You'll be punished severely if your hands turn cold. Sheng Xiao replied. He then hurriedly dealt with the matter at hand, so that his little one would not be worried. Mu Qiqi sat in front of the window of the revolving restaurant and watched the Ferris wheel turn slowly. Soon Sheng Xiao arrived. Sheng Xiao picked her up without a word and went to the VIP room, closing the door. Didn't I tell you to stay somewhere warm? I want to be the first to see you. Mu Qiqi quickly explained. Sheng Xiao lifted Mu Qiqi's chin and inhaled her fragrance out of habit. Then, he took out his phone and showed Mu Qiqi everything that happened when the lawyer visited the Mu family today. That's... The lawyer recorded it secretly. Sheng Xiao answered, wrapping his arms around Mu Qiqi. Mu Qiqi leaned against Sheng Xiao's chest and watched the entire conversation between the lawyer and Papa Mu. Judging from Papa Mu's attitude, Mu Tongxue would be in deep trouble. If nothing goes wrong, the Mu family would come and beg for your forgiveness. You can ask for anything you want then. No, Mu Tongxue would think of another way to escape. Mu Qiqi knew Mu Tongxue well. She would definitely find another way. Don't you understand, little one? You just have to watch the show no matter what Mu Tongxue wants to do. That's true. Mu Qiqi couldn't help smiling brightly. Xiao Xiao, can I prove my innocence if they pursue this matter? Why are you hugging and kissing me if you want to prove your innocence? Sheng Xiao put down his phone and looked at her dangerously. You're going to get even more unclean soon. And Mu Qiqi understood the hint. Her face reddened even more. Chapter 58. Seizing the chance, Sheng Xiao pinched her chin and kissed her deeply. Then he let go of Mu Qiqi, so that she could breathe freely. If it weren't for the fact that you're still a little thing, the place I've brought you to wouldn't be a playground. Sheng Xiao never hid his desire in front of Mu Qiqi. It was the most direct expression of a man's interest in a woman. Although Mu Qiqi was shy, could she swear that she didn't like Sheng Xiao when he behaved like that? Clearly, she had always been infatuated with him. Hence, Mu Qiqi kissed him on her own. Sheng Xiao caught her lips and teased her as he pleased. Mu Tongxue was not as happy as Mu Qiqi. That night, she hid in her grandfather's house because she did not have the courage to return to the Mu family. After Grandpa Mu's wife passed away, he knew that Mu Qiqi was chased out of the family. But he did not say anything because he had not gotten over the grief of his wife's death. Now, Mu Tongxue did not dare to return home because she blamed Mu Qiqi. Moreover, Mama Mu kept adding fuel to the fire in front of Grandpa Mu. That was why Grandpa Mu's misunderstanding of Mu Qiqi deepened. It had only been a short time since they last met, but the little girl had already caused so much trouble. Still, could the great Mu family not be able to do anything to a little girl? Soon, Papa Mu arrived at his father's house. He asked to see him and bring his wife and daughter with him. Grandpa Mu stood in the living room, leaning on his walking stick. He straightened his back and said to his son, Tongxue has told me everything. Why don't you think of a way to shut her up? Why are you making things difficult for Tongxue? She wouldn't have said anything wrong if Mu Qiqi didn't bully her in school. In the end, you have to take responsibility as a father. Dad, Papa Mu called out helplessly. Tangxue is the young lady of the Mu family now. You only have one daughter. Why aren't you doting on her? Why are you scolding her all the time? Haven't you let Mu Qiqi bully her enough? If you don't treat Tangxue well in the future, you should be prepared to hand over the management of Mu Group to your brothers. Dad, I'll definitely change. Papa Mu quickly lowered his head and admitted his mistake. As for Mu Qiqi, she is an outsider now that she has left the Mu family. As Mu Tangshue's father, you should stand on her side. How could you let an outsider benefit? Papa Mu was implying that whatever Mu Tangxue did wrong, it was all Mu Qiqi's fault. Because his family would never be in the wrong. Papa Mu understood what Grandpa Mu meant. He even promised that he would watch his words from now on. He would never hit or scold Mu Tangxue again. Also, why do you need to be polite when dealing with outsiders? Grandpa Mu hated Mu Qiqi because his beloved wife was killed by Mu Qiqi. At least in his stubborn mind, he preferred to believe in Mu Tangxue, whom his wife loved since she was young. Mu Qiqi leaving the Mu family and going against them only proved that Mu Qiqi was an ingrate through and through. She did not deserve to be treated kindly by the Mu family at all. That was why he told Papa Mu directly, "You don't have to be polite with outsiders. There's no need for me to teach you how to deal with a child, right? There's no need for that, Dad. Then bring your wife and daughter home. I'll hold you responsible if Mu Group's shares drop because of Mu Qiqi." Papa Mu could not disobey Grandpa Mu. He could only bring Mu Tangxue and Mama Mu home with a dark face. Although he did not scold them verbally, he gave them the best warning. If you go out and cause trouble again, I don't care if you are hiding in Dad's house or not. You will be kicked out of the house just like Mu Qiqi. I'll let you go this time, but there won't be a next time. Mu Tangshue's face was pale. Fortunately, Papa Mu did not do anything. Mama Mu protected her daughter. After they entered the room, she told Mu Tangxue, "It's all right, Schwer. Grandpa helped us." "Mommy, I really hate my sister. Why is she always haunting me? Why does she always snatch everything from me?" Mu Tangxue hugged Mama Mu and sobbed in her arms. She was scared out of her wits today. Papa Mu would have attacked her if Grandpa Mu was not there. Mama Mu was full of resentment towards Mu Qiqi. Since she had left the Mu family, she should not go against the Mu family. Otherwise, everyone would suffer. "Don't be afraid, Schwer. Mommy will think of a way for you." Now the Mu family was the passive party, and Mu Qiqi wanted to get to the bottom of the matter. That was why Papa Mu had to find Mu Qiqi, so that the Mu family's shares would not be affected. Whether it was through threats, manipulations, or other means, he would not let a little girl like Mu Qiqi turn the world upside down. Therefore, when Mama Mu returned to her room, Papa Mu suddenly asked her, "Mu Qiqi, are you depending on your sister now?" "Yes." Mama Mu nodded. "What about Zipei? Perhaps she would learn to be obedient if she has no one to depend on." Papa Mu did not say what he was going to do, but it was clear that he was going to do something to Zipei. However, the Mu family did not know that they were not only dealing with Mu Qiqi and Zipei. Sheng Xiao was also behind them. That night, as usual, Mu Qiqi stayed with Sheng Xiao until late at night before returning to the little mansion. Su Zipei was worried about the Mu family's reaction. Meanwhile, Mu Qiqi showed Su Zipei the recording Xiao Xiao had given her as a sign of completion. Su Zipei had been worried that the Mu family would play dirty against Mu Qiqi again. After all, Mu Qiqi was just a child, and the Mu family were all on Mu Tangshue's side. "Qiqi, I have a feeling that the Mu family would be fooled by Mu Tangshue's tears, unless you could prove that Mu Tangxue was the one who killed your grandmother. Think about it. The whole family loves Mu Tangxue and hates you. Now that you've blown things up, the Mu family would hate you even more. Aunt Zipei, I'm not worried at all that the Mu family would do anything to me. I have you and Brother Xiao now." Mu Qiqi told Su Zipei determinedly. "You know that Mu Tangxue was the one who started so many incidents. This time, I won't let her get away with it so easily no matter what." Chapter 59. Aunt Zipei, Brother Xiao wouldn't abandon us. Mu Qiqi told Su Zipei confidently. She was completely unaware that Papa Mu had made Su Zipei a target. Papa Mu had learned from Mama Mu about Suzy Pei's daily schedule and where she would go for groceries. That was why he had arranged for someone to stalk and harass Suzy Pei. His methods were unorthodox, but they were usually enough to deal with women. Old Lin was there to fetch Mu Chichi to school. Moreover, Mama Mu had tried to snatch Mu Chichi away before, which was why Old Lin was very guarded against such things. That was why it was not easy for Papa Mu to do anything to Mu Chichi. Mu Chichi went to school the next day. When she arrived, she heard from her classmates that Papa Mu had personally sent Mu Tongxue to school and was now in the teacher's office. Mu Chichi had already guessed that Mu Tongxue could escape Papa Mu's scolding. They were a family now, and Papa Mu would only side with Mu Tongxue no matter what she did. Holding her phone, Mu Chichi thought about her aunt and Sheng Xiao. At the moment, it was her entire world, and both worlds could collapse at any moment. But so what? As expected, Mu Chichi was called into the teacher's office again. But this time, Papa Mu was not as arrogant and cold as before. Chichi, I've discussed it with your father. It wouldn't be good for both you and Tongxue to blow up the matter regarding your grandmother. That's why we think it's best to minimize the problem. The teacher adjusted her spectacles and told Mu Chichi, "You're right, Chichi. Tongxue didn't mean it, and we shouldn't bring it up now that it's over. You and Tongxue are about to take your exams, and it's better to focus on preparing for them." Papa Mu agreed with the teacher. "I really want to focus on my exams, but Mu Tongxue wouldn't let it go. If I let her do it, who's going to care if she blabbers again?" Mu Chichi said stiffly. "Moreover, since it's legal proceedings and the police have been called, let's do as they say. It's fine if you believe Mu Tongxue. I'll let the police investigate. Your grandmother has passed away for so long. There's no need to pursue this matter any further. You were chased out by your own parents, and you say you won't pursue the matter? That's too easy," Mu Chichi insisted. "All these years, you've always sided with Mu Tongxue and never treated me fairly. If that's the case, I'll find justice myself." Chichi stopped fooling around. The teacher was getting anxious. "Your exam is more important now. It's fine, teacher. Since she wants fairness, let her pursue it. As long as she doesn't regret it, it's fine. I'll be troubling you to take care of our Tang Shui." With that, Papa Mu did not continue the discussion with Mu Chichi. He was not here to discuss it with Mu Chichi anyway. Therefore he got up and left the school. Then, the teacher looked at Mu Chichi and couldn't help sighing. "Chichi, don't get your life wrong. The most important thing for you now is to get into an important school and not compete with Mu Tongxue in those aspects. Teacher, you're not the one who's being framed. But your parents clearly trust Mu Tongxue more than you do. Have you ever thought that they wouldn't stand on your side? If you go to court, wouldn't they stand by Mu Tongxue's side and accuse you? A daughter who was chased out was abandoned like an old shoe. Don't you get it? Even if you prove your innocence, it would mean nothing to your parents, because they adore Mu Tongxue more. They would tolerate her no matter how many wrongs she has done. You would always lose when it comes to your parents. You have to work hard and be more useful than Mu Tongxue in the future. You would create more value than Mu Tongxue, and only then would your parents truly regret it. I really want to ask why there are such parents in this world when I see you like this. But there are such parents in this world. Didn't you see the news? There are mothers who would dismember their daughters into dozens of pieces. What's more, they would abandon you." At those words, her teacher put a hand on Mu Chichi's shoulder and told her, "Listen to me. Teach Mu Tongxue a lesson while your parents can still negotiate. Don't overdo it, and keep a low profile. There are still many chances in the future. You're an adult now, Chichi." Mu Chichi was moved by her teacher's words. She knew that her teacher was truly thinking for her own good, and that if she continued to argue with Mu Tongxue about the culprit, both of them would suffer in the end. Moreover, the Mu family might come up with more devious tricks to deal with her and her aunt. Still, she was very unwilling to accept the fact that Mu Tongxue had accused her of her grandmother's murder in front of the entire school. Was there really no way to find evidence for this matter? Mu Chichi had many thoughts on that day, especially when she saw Mu Tongxue. Their eyes met, and the hatred between them was so obvious that even bystanders could feel it. Still, Mu Tongxue did not bother Mu Qiqi that day, and the two acted as if the other did not exist. Still, when Mu Qiqi returned home from school, she noticed that her aunt's expression was not good. "Aunt Zipe, what's wrong? Are you not feeling well?" "No, you must be seeing things," Su Zipe quickly explained, touching her face. "What's with the scratch on the back of your hand?" Mu Qiqi quickly asked, grabbing Su Zipe's hand. Su Zipe sighed, and eventually told Mu Qiqi about being stalked and harassed today. Mu Qiqi knew whose masterpiece it was. Or rather, everyone knew it. It was just a warning from the Mu family. "I'm sorry, Aunt Zipe. You have to go through all this because of me." Su Zipe patted Mu Qiqi on the shoulder and comforted her. "It's fine, Aunt Zipe. Just be careful when you go out." Unable to hold back, Mu Qiqi whipped out her phone and dialed Sheng Xiao's number. "Brother Xiao, I want to see you." Sheng Xiao could hear the aggrieved tone in Mu Qiqi's voice over the phone, and promptly told everyone in the meeting, "The meeting is over for today. We'll continue tomorrow." Everyone looked at each other, but none of them could do anything about the crown prince, and could only watch as he rose and left the meeting room. It would be weird if he was in the mood for a meeting when his little one was being bullied. Therefore, Sheng Xiao drove straight to the little mansion. Meanwhile, Mu Qiqi and Su Zipe were sitting in the living room, both of them looking terrible. "What is it?" Sheng Xiao asked, holding back the urge to grab the little one and give her a spanking. "What happened?" "Xiao. Brother Xiao, I don't want to pursue the matter of the murderer anymore. I don't have the ability to retaliate, and all I can do now is cause Aunt Zipe pain. That is why I agreed to the Mu family's suggestion to minimize the problem, but I have one request." "Are you sure?" Sheng Xiao asked in return. "When I grow up and have the ability, I will make the Mu family regret what they did today. And now, my only request is to get Mu Tongxue out of my sight. Brother Xiao, help me become strong. I beg you." Chapter 60. Come out. Sheng Xiao did not say anything else, but ordered Mu Qiqi. Su Zipe knew that Mu Qiqi's emotions were unstable right now, and she trusted Sheng Xiao. That was why she let Mu Qiqi follow him. He would definitely be able to comfort her. So Su Zipe pushed Mu Qiqi's shoulder and told her, "Go. Talk to young Master Sheng." Mu Qiqi got up from Su Zipe's side and followed Sheng Xiao. They got into Sheng Xiao's sports car one after the other, and soon the car left the little mansion. It was getting late, and the street lights were already lit up on both sides of the road. Sheng Xiao brought Mu Qiqi to the revolving restaurant, and when they entered the VIP room, he pressed her down on the wooden table and glared at her. "Don't be Sheng Xiao's woman if you show such a pitiful expression." Mu Qiqi was stunned. "If you give in so easily, would you agree to anyone who threatens you to leave me in the future?" "I'm not." Mu Qiqi quickly denied. "Look at me." Sheng Xiao held Mu Qiqi's chin. "Say it again." "You're not. That's different." Mu Qiqi answered firmly. Sheng Xiao let go of Mu Qiqi's hands and straightened. "Is that so? But I don't really believe it now." In that instant, Mu Qiqi mustered her courage out of nowhere, and suddenly wrapped her legs around Sheng Xiao's narrow waist to stop him from leaving. "I won't give up on you even if I die, Xiao Xiao." Sheng Xiao was afraid that Mu Qiqi would be so easily swayed at such a young age. After all, she was the one who dragged her into hell. "I won't. You have to believe me." "I won't." Mu Qiqi repeated "I won't" a few times. She was also very emotional. "Don't doubt my feelings for you. I'll be sad if you do." Sheng Xiao picked Mu Qiqi up and made her sit on him. Then he stared at her little face and asked for a kiss. They kissed for a long time. So long that Mu Qiqi could clearly feel her lips swollen. But the man did not stop and did not let her go. His warm hand even reached out to touch a certain part of her chest. Mu Qiqi blushed immediately. The strange feeling made her flinch. "You are not allowed to escape. This is your punishment." Mu Qiqi did not dare to move. She opened her eyes and looked at the handsome face in front of her. Actually, it did not feel bad, but she was very shy. "Xiao Xiao, promise me." Aunt Zipe was followed by the Mu family today. "I can't protect her now. I'm worried." "Are you going to suffer this loss for nothing?" Sheng Xiao squinted at her and asked teasingly. It's not a free meal. Just as you said, I can ask for many things. Mu Qiqi said seriously. Xiao Xiao, there's still a long way to go. In the end, what was the reason for his anger? It was nothing more than the little thing suffering a loss. I don't care anymore. Sheng Xiao heaved a sigh of relief. Although he was not satisfied with the sex just now, he said, let's go and take a look at the houses near Shengting University. When the time comes, decorate them according to the style you like. But there's still half a year. Mu Qiqi felt that this man was very anxious. Half a year will pass in the blink of an eye. Moreover, didn't you just beg me to make you stronger? How much free time do you think you will have after you have all kinds of training classes? Sheng Xiao asked. He lifted her chin and said to her dangerously, you probably don't know how much I want to eat you up right now. Are you so sure that I can get into Shengting University? I know you better than you do. Sheng Xiao said, and put Mu Qiqi down from his arms. If he kept hugging her, he could not guarantee that he would not do something terrible to her. Mu Qiqi took the opportunity to sit opposite Sheng Xiao. She reached out and touched her thin lips. I've bitten them. You've taken advantage of me. Mu Qiqi lowered her head when she remembered that they still had half a year to live together. After a while, she said to Sheng Xiao, why don't we stay in a hotel tonight? Mu Qiqi, do you know what you're talking about? Sheng Xiao asked her coldly. It's just a matter of time anyway. I can. Don't regret it. Did Sheng Xiao mean that he had agreed? Mu Qiqi thought that she could just go home in the middle of the night. Anyway, Su Zipei was not worried about her staying with Sheng Xiao. But she did not know that the safest and most trusted person was actually the most dangerous. Sheng Xiao looked at Mu Qiqi playfully. Did this little one make such a suggestion because she was still young and naive? Or did she really like him that much? After dinner, Sheng Xiao left with Mu Qiqi. But he did not bring her to a hotel. Instead, he brought her back to the small mansion. Xiao Xiao, go upstairs and sleep. I promise you what you said. Sheng Xiao pushed her from behind. Then, he whispered in her ear when Su Zipei was not paying attention. If you say something so casual to others in the future, I swear, I've only been with you. Mu Qiqi quickly explained. You want to give me your body now? Little one. Before Mu Qiqi could say anything, Sheng Xiao had already let her go, and let her go upstairs to rest. Mu Qiqi wondered if she had made Xiao Xiao think that she was being too casual. But that was not what she meant. So, when she returned to her room, she immediately texted Sheng Xiao. Xiao Xiao, I'm not like that to everyone. I'm only with you. I think I can do anything for you. Sheng Xiao was touched when he read the message. He knew that he had a girl in her best years, and most of the feelings he had back then were unwavering. So, Sheng Xiao replied directly. Do you dare to do that to anyone? Mu Qiqi laughed when she read the reply. Su Zipei knocked on the door and entered Mu Qiqi's room. What did young Master Sheng say? Aunt Zipei, Brother Xiao agrees with what I'm doing. I won't fight Mu Tangxue to the end this time, but I will put forward some conditions for the Mu family. Mu Qiqi replied. That's how it should be. Su Zipei nodded. Then rest well tonight. But what did young Master Sheng bring you to eat? Your mouth is so swollen. It's spicy. Mu Qiqi quickly cooperated. Aunt Zipei, can you help me find some medicine? Qiqi, it's almost time for your college entrance exam. You must do your best. Mu Qiqi knew what Su Zipei was looking forward to, and Sheng Xiao agreed to teach her all sorts of lessons. She must train herself to be the strongest she could be. Not only that, she must be brave. Chapter 61. Having decided to minimize the problem, Mu Qiqi had Su Zipei contact the Mu family and express her thoughts. But she had a request. Although Papa Mu was angry, at least Mu Qiqi was willing to give in. Let's see how big her appetite was. When Mama Mu knew that Mu Qiqi had a request, she tried to persuade Mu Tangxue. Shuer, no matter what request your sister makes, you must agree to it. Don't go against your father. There are only a few months left before the National College Entrance Examination. I hope that you can behave yourself until you get into a top university. Mommy, I am not confident that I can get into Shengting University. And with my current results, I might not be able to get into Shengting University. Mu Tongxue explained. Shui, I had a good talk with your father last night. You are the daughter of the Mu family, and everything in the Mu family belongs to you from now on. That is why you really don't have to go against Mu Qiqi everywhere. You would lose your father's trust if you beat her, and that would not be worth it. Most importantly, your father will bring you to all kinds of banquets soon. You will meet a lot of talented young men. You are not in the same class as Mu Qiqi. You must remember that you are degrading yourself by going against her. Do you understand? Yes, Mommy. Also, we can do something about the National College entrance examination. Mu Qiqi's results were stable, and she was always one of the best. If Mu Qiqi performed well during the National College entrance examination, she would bribe the invigilator for Mu Tongxue. Then, she would change Mu Qiqi's name into Mu Tongxue's when they collect the exam papers. Let the two of them swap places. That way, Mu Tongxue would have a 90% chance of getting into Shengting University. Of course, Mama Mu only had a rough idea. She had not decided whether she would use it or not. So she did not tell Mu Tongxue and the others. Let's see what Mu Qiqi wants tomorrow. On the other hand, Sheng Xiao had decided to be with Mu Qiqi after half a year. So, he had to start planning to move out of the Sheng family. So he told Mama Sheng about his idea. Mama Sheng was reluctant. You don't want to live in such a big mansion. Why do you want to move out? Mom, when will you have a daughter-in-law when you go home every day? Sheng Xiao asked. When Mama Sheng heard that, she felt that it made sense. It's fine if you want to move out. But, I have to help you choose and decorate the house. As you wish. Sheng Xiao pushed Mama Sheng out of the door. I'll wait for your news. Then, Sheng Xiao returned to the sofa, holding the ugly cufflinks that Mu Qiqi had given him. For such a small thing, he had done everything he could and could do. He had thought of all the things that he shouldn't have done and thought of. But even if he was not accepted by everyone, he was determined to have that adorable little thing. Nonetheless, Mu Qiqi did not sleep well that night. She dreamed that Mu Tongxue had come to snatch Xiao Xiao away from her. Because of that, Mu Qiqi woke up in the middle of the night. She sat on the bed and kept calling Sheng Xiao's name. It was 3 in the morning. Mu Qiqi did not want to disturb his rest, but still sent him a message. Xiao Xiao, could you not recognize me in Mu Tongxue? I had a dream just now. Mu Tongxue pretended to be me and snatched you away. Of course, there was no reply on the other side of the phone. But about 40 minutes later, Sheng Xiao suddenly replied. Come downstairs. Mu Qiqi sat up on the bed and looked out of the window. When she saw Sheng Xiao's car downstairs, she quickly rushed out of the door. Did I wake you up? Sheng Xiao hugged her under the moonlight. Do you think that everyone in the world has the same IQ as you? I didn't want to have such a dream. Sheng Xiao got into the car with Mu Qiqi. Then, he let her straddle him and lay on his chest. Sleep. Here? Mu Qiqi exclaimed in surprise. You don't want to? I do. I do. Mu Qiqi quickly answered. Xiao Xiao, tell me the truth. How did you distinguish me from Mu Tongxue? If I had a twin brother, would you not be able to recognize me? Sheng Xiao asked her in return. How is that possible? Everyone has their own unique smell. I couldn't have mistaken you for someone else. Then why are you asking me? Mu Qiqi thought about it and came up with a compromise. Why don't I get a tattoo? That way, you wouldn't mistake me for someone else. I'll tattoo your name on my chest. This time, Sheng Xiao did not say anything. In fact, Mu Qiqi mentioned something that interested him. Mu Qiqi's words would fully satisfy a man's possessiveness. Still, wouldn't tattooing her name on her chest be the same as announcing it to the world? Moreover, there was no beauty to it. At that thought, Sheng Xiao certainly felt that it was time to change Mu Qiqi's image. That was why, while Mu Qiqi was asleep, Sheng Xiao reached out to stroke Mu Qiqi's inky hair, while thinking about how to make her tattoo look good. And where should he tattoo it? What an irresistible little thing. Naturally, Mu Qiqi could not keep sleeping on Sheng Xiao's body. At 6 in the morning, before Su Zipei woke up, Mu Qiqi hurried home. Before she left, Sheng Xiao had told her many things to take note of about her request to Papa Mu. Since it was Mu Qiqi's choice, he would respect the little one even if he did not agree, and did not like to force her. Susie Pei was completely unaware that Mu Qiqi was spending the night outside. After waking up, she made breakfast for Mu Qiqi, and woke her up for school. Mu Qiqi was in high spirits. With Sheng Xiao's company, she unknowingly endured the pain the Mu family had inflicted on her. After breakfast, Mu Qiqi was escorted by old Lin to Eton. Meanwhile, Papa Mu's car was already waiting outside Eton's gates. Mu Qiqi got into Papa Mu's car and told him, "Aunt Zipei has told you that I agreed to resolve this matter. But that doesn't mean I'll let Mu Tongxue go. You have to agree to my conditions if you want me to resolve this matter once and for all. You first." Papa Mu told Mu Qiqi. "First, Mu Tongxue has to change classes. I don't want to see her acting in front of me all day." "All right," Papa Mu nodded. "Second, if Mu Tongxue bothers me again, the Mu family is not to interfere when I seek revenge on her. You have to sign an agreement with me." "All right," Papa Mu nodded again. Chapter 62. Papa Mu couldn't help chuckling coldly at Mu Qiqi's words. "Qiqi, you're still a child. Why do you have so many tricks up your sleeve? You've really changed my opinion. Just tell me, do you agree or not? I don't want to talk about other things." Mu Qiqi did not want to talk to Papa Mu anymore. No, not even a word more than that. It's fine if you want Mu Tongxue to apologize. But slapping herself? Is that necessary? "It is necessary," Mu Qiqi said firmly. "I want her to remember not to mess with me, because she would pay the price sooner or later." Papa Mu was silent for a few seconds. Then he nodded. "I promise you. But you have to promise me that you won't tell anyone about this from now on. I don't want the media to know about it. Don't worry about that. I'm not as untrustworthy as others." With that, Mu Qiqi got out of Papa Mu's car. But before she left, she reminded him, "Remember to slap yourself to apologize." "I know." Papa Mu had no choice but to nod. After all, it was his priority to appease Mu Qiqi. Mu Tongxue was the one who caused the trouble. Hence, she should be taught a lesson to remind her not to say anything in the future. "Then I'll wait for her apology." With that, Mu Qiqi shouldered her backpack and entered Eton's main gate. Meanwhile, Papa Mu stared at Mu Qiqi's back with a meaningful look. Then he told his driver, "Get Mu Tongxue out." "Sir, are you really going to let Miss Mu Tongxue in front of the whole school?" "What else? After all, it's only in school. It's good for her to be taught a lesson. If she were to be schemed against by others in the future in the business world, she would have to break her teeth and swallow the consequences. Winner takes all. This has been the case since ancient times." Papa Mu replied. In fact, as long as Mu Tongxue was not involved in Mu Group, he would not care if Mu Tongxue was wronged. Soon Mu Tongxue left the school gate, her face pale. She got into her father's car. "Dad, you were looking for me? I've talked to your sister just now. She's willing to keep the peace. But she has a few conditions, and all of them are against you." Mu Tongxue knew that Mu Qiqi would definitely teach her a lesson now that she had the chance. "Dad, just say it. I'm fine. First, she wants you to transfer to another class. Second, she wants you to never appear in front of her again, and never provoke her. Third, she wants you to slap yourself in the face and apologize to her in front of everyone." Mu Tongxue could already guess Papa Mu's answer after hearing his nonchalant words. He would definitely agree to Mu Qiqi. "Tongxue, I know it. But I have no choice. You are Daddy's darling. You will definitely help Daddy solve this problem, right? Mu Group will to you." She looked at her. "Dad, Mu Tongxue Mu. 2. That's good. I'll wait for your good news." Mu Tongxue was upset, but she could not do anything about it. Apart from hating Mu Qiqi, her father was now added to her list of enemies. Mu Qiqi always had someone to take the blame for her when she was still around. That was why she never knew that Papa Mu would treat his own flesh and blood like this. No wonder Mu Qiqi did not want to come back. But she would not be as weak as Mu Qiqi. She would not leave the Mu family, because she would get everything from the Mu family in the end. Then, she would chase all the people she hated away. She would also chase Mu Qiqi out of the country, and never let her in again. Wasn't it just a slap and an apology? Who wouldn't? After returning to the classroom, Mu Tongxue walked up to Mu Qiqi. Before Mu Qiqi could react, she suddenly slapped herself and apologized to Mu Qiqi. Sister, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have said something like that. Please forgive me. Didn't you say that I killed Grandma? Mu Qiqi turned around and asked Mu Tongxue. I was just angry. That's why I said it. I'm innocent. Please forgive me. I won't say anything like that again. Qian Qian's eyes widened when she saw Mu Tongxue suddenly apologizing to Mu Qiqi. She did not expect to see such a scene. What a long time to be alive. Speak louder. I can't hear you. Mu Qiqi demanded. Mu Tongxue slapped herself again, this time with an even louder voice. Sister, please forgive me. It's my fault for talking nonsense and causing you to be misunderstood by everyone. You didn't kill Grandma. I've wronged you. What? This time, the whole class heard it. Then he sighed. Mu Qiqi was finally satisfied. She stood up and said to Mu Tongxue, if you provoke me again, I can be even more ruthless. It's not a big deal. I'm sorry, sister. Get out of my sight. Mu Tongxue did not meet anyone's gaze. She lowered her head and returned to her seat. Soon, the teacher came in and announced that Mu Tongxue would be transferred to Class 5. She was told to pack her things and personally escorted her out. White Lotus Mu is finally gone. It feels like the air in the classroom is so fresh now. Qian Qian stretched lazily. She was very happy. Qiqi, how did you make that White Lotus apologize to you? It's nothing special. It's just a self-inflicted wound to kill 1,000 enemies. Mu Qiqi replied. And do you think she could stop her scheming mind? I humiliated her today. In the future, she would only come at me with more vicious methods. It's just that now is not the right time. It's really complicated between you sisters. Still, it's good that she's transferred. At least out of sight, out of mind, right? Xiao Xiao had said that there would be many classes waiting for her. That was why she did not have the time to entertain Mu Tongxue. She had said that she must become stronger. She would never let the Mu family step over her. Once the bell rang, Mu Qiqi headed out of the classroom. Perhaps the news of Mu Tongxue slapping Mu Qiqi as an apology had spread. The other students were now looking at Mu Qiqi strangely. Still, she did not care. Mu Qiqi pretended not to see Mama Mu, who had come to pick Mu Tongxue up at the school gates. They brushed past each other. Chapter 63. After that, Mu Qiqi got into Old Lin's car and returned to the little mansion. The foreign teacher was already there. Xiao Xiao was a man of his word. Su Zipei said to her, Qiqi, your grades are good enough. You still have to go through training after school. Can you handle it? Aunt Zipei, I have to be good at everything to be of my greatest value. Mu Qiqi replied. All right. Young Master Sheng will come to see you later. He said that he's taking you out for dinner. Mu Qiqi couldn't help chuckling at Su Zipei's words. Xiao Xiao was getting better at using his position for personal gain. Recently, he had taken her out to do bad things under the pretext of advising her. Mu Qiqi didn't think much about it. She returned to her room to change her clothes and went to the study. Aside from studying, there was also music, chess, calligraphy, and high-class etiquette. Mu Qiqi didn't want to lose her socialite temperament after leaving the Mu family and losing that environment. In fact, she didn't want Sheng Xiao to be a joke in the future. After an hour of wine lessons, Mu Qiqi sent her teacher downstairs. She found Sheng Xiao sitting in the living room, looking as if he was in a painting. Qiqi, what are you looking at? Young Master Sheng has been waiting for you. Su Zipei quickly said. He's so busy. Don't keep wasting his time. I'll come down right after I change. No need. Sheng Xiao closed the high school textbook he was flipping through and gestured with his eyes for Mu Qiqi to leave. Mu Qiqi nodded and followed behind him. Once Mu Qiqi got into the car, Sheng Xiao put his arm around her neck and kissed her on the lips. Xiao Xiao. I'm taking you to change your image today. Sheng Xiao drove Mu Qiqi to a high-class image management center. To avoid being recognized, Sheng Xiao purposely wore a pair of black glasses to hide his dangerous aura, making him look a little more refined. Then, Sheng Xiao discussed with the stylist what style he should give Mu Qiqi. She was still a high school student after all, and the stylist suggested that Mu Qiqi should look befitting of her status. That was why the stylist gave her a beautiful medium short haircut and dyed it maroon, before slightly perming the ends of her hair. In the process, the stylist kept praising Sheng Xiao. I've never seen such a dedicated brother. If he wasn't her brother, could he be her boyfriend? Of course, Mu Qiqi would never reveal their relationship. She simply sat quietly and peeked at Sheng Xiao through the mirror. What was he drawing? 2 hours later, a brand new Mu Qiqi appeared before Sheng Xiao. Sir, you have good taste. I have to say, this style really suits your sister. The stylist finished and applied some lipstick on Mu Qiqi's lips. Meanwhile, Sheng Xiao stared at Mu Qiqi's thin, tender lips, reluctant to look away for some time. Xiao, brother, how is it? Sheng Xiao withdrew his gaze and nodded. Not bad. Mu Qiqi liked the flamboyant smell too, because it matched Sheng Xiao's temperament very well. Then, they left the image management center together. But before they reached the parking lot, Sheng Xiao hugged Mu Qiqi and pressed her against a dark corner, kissing her uncontrollably. Ugh! Mu Qiqi was startled and quickly responded. It was only when both of them could not breathe that Sheng Xiao let go of Mu Qiqi and led her to the sports car. I couldn't bring you to the Sheng family's designer shop because I can't expose my identity. Sheng Xiao explained. It's fine. It's good enough here. Mu Qiqi replied. But why are we in such a hurry? Do you want to see me embarrass myself? Sheng Xiao said quickly. Mu Qiqi did not understand what he meant at first, and only blushed when her gaze fell below. She did not expect that the man would lose control like that, after just one kiss. After returning to the car, Sheng Xiao closed his eyes and calmed himself for a few seconds before bringing Mu Qiqi to the next place. Seeing that it was already late, Mu Qiqi said, Why don't we go another day? I want to see the effect now. Mu Qiqi had no idea where Sheng Xiao was taking her. She could only stay where she was. Then, Sheng Xiao brought her to a quiet and elegant place. It was a small courtyard that was decorated in a Japanese style. Soon, a woman with a tattoo on her arm came out. She smiled when she saw Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi. You two must be my special guests today, right? I heard that you are the best tattoo artist in Jianchuan, so I made an appointment to come here. I know. That's why I'm waiting for you too. But I have a question. What's your relationship with me? You should know that a tattoo is something that will last for a lifetime. It's very painful to wash it off. I've had many guests here. They would get the tattoo and wash it after that. So, I hope you two can be careful and avoid physical pain. The female tattoo artist in her 30s asked them. Brother and sister? Mu Qiqi replied. Lovers, Sheng Xiao replied. Mu Qiqi and the tattoo artist were stunned when they heard the word lovers. Little girl, are you still a student? She's my possession, Sheng Xiao replied. The tattoo artist smiled. She was smart enough not to ask further. Since they were high-class guests, she just needed to take care of them. What kind of tattoo do you want? Where do you want it? Sheng Xiao gave the tattoo artist the drawing he had just drawn. This is the English abbreviation of our names. You just need to make a sample according to the size I gave you. She had to admit that Sheng Xiao's English handwriting was really beautiful. Moreover, it was just a normal size. Mu Qiqi did not have to suffer much. Then where should I tattoo? Sheng Xiao walked to Mu Qiqi. He used his index finger to lift the hair on Mu Qiqi's right ear. He looked at her earlobe and said, Here. It was tattooed on the edge of her earlobe. It was like wearing a ring earring. It was not very eye-catching, but it was very unique. It's so special. The tattoo artist nodded. She could not help but admire Sheng Xiao's suggestion. It looked like a stamp. This kind of naked possessiveness really gave people goosebumps. But it was also very enviable. What about you, sir? Sheng Xiao let go of Mu Qiqi. Then he turned around and pointed at his left collarbone. Here. It could be hidden with a shirt. It was very convenient. But as long as he thought about it, he would be able to touch it. It was good. Xiao, you want it too? Muchichi was shocked. Why? You don't want to use your name? Sheng Xiao looked at her dangerously. Chapter 64. Since the two of you have decided, please enter our workshop. The tattoo artist said to the two. Little girls, don't be afraid. Your location is on your earlobe, and the area of the tattoo isn't big, so it won't hurt. Don't worry. Muchichi grabbed Sheng Xiao's hand. Her palms were already sweating. Sheng Xiao patted her head with his other hand and snorted. I'm here. What are you afraid of? I'm just nervous. Muchichi replied. I'm so nervous. But at the same time, she was very excited. There would be an unbreakable connection between her and Sheng Xiao, and there would be a strong sense of belonging in her heart. She was Sheng Xiao's, and Sheng Xiao belonged to her alone. It was a private property marked with his name. Then the two of them entered the tattoo studio. At this time, the tattoo artist said to the two of them, please sit down. Moreover, tattooing each other's names on each other's body is like exchanging rings. I don't know if you feel this way, it's very sweet. Under the soft light, Muchichi stole a glance at Sheng Xiao. Did Xiao feel that way too? Was he happy? Soon, the tattoo artist had finished drawing the tattoo. Then, she made a pattern for Muchichi according to Sheng Xiao's request. Because it was just a delicate English letter, no one could understand the meaning behind it. If Muchichi didn't want others to see it, she could just wear a slightly bigger earring to cover it up. It was very convenient. Still, she did not intend to cover it up since she had already gotten it. Because others might not know. But she knew very well that it was Sheng Xiao's English name. Following that, the tattooist disinfected and applied the needle. For them, a small picture like this could be done in less than 10 minutes. Muchichi did not dare to look at her earlobe, and could only look at Sheng Xiao's body. In no time at all, exquisite letters were tattooed on her earlobe. A few small letters appeared on the edge of her earlobe in a regular pattern. It was really beautiful. That way, you'll have one more distinct mark than Mu Tangxue. She wouldn't be able to imitate you. She didn't have to worry that others wouldn't be able to tell them apart. It turned out that Sheng Xiao had kept her dream in his heart. No matter what, he could tell Muchichi apart. Because Muchichi had answered his question before. A person's smell and breathing pattern could not be replicated. But to make Muchichi feel at ease, he immediately brought Muchichi to get a tattoo. Then, Sheng Xiao unbuttoned his shirt and lay down on the chair, looking very unbridled and lazy. Even the tattoo artist was amazed. A man like Sheng Xiao could easily get any kind of woman he wanted. However, his taste seemed to lean towards the younger ones. The one below your collarbone will be slightly bigger. It will look better this way. It won't hurt, Muchichi quickly said to Sheng Xiao. Sheng Xiao looked at her earlobe. He was not just satisfied. He really wanted to kiss this little thing's pink earlobe. But since it was not the right place, he closed his eyes and let the tattoo artist leave Muchichi's name on his collarbone. Men are usually afraid of being tied down, especially men like your boyfriend. It's obvious that he really cares about you. The tattoo artist whispered into Muchichi's ear. Cherish him. I wish you all the best. Muchichi's face turned red, but she held Sheng Xiao's warm hand all the way. Although they tried their best to hide their relationship, it was not a capital offense if someone found out about it occasionally. In 10 minutes, Sheng Xiao's body now bore another person's name. To Muchichi, Sheng Xiao might have carved her name on his body. But to Sheng Xiao, Muchichi's name had long since been carved into his heart and bones. After the tattoo was done, Sheng Xiao asked the tattoo artist to keep the information a secret. Then, he left the quiet courtyard with Muchichi and was ready to return to the small mansion. However, when they reached a place where there was no one else, Sheng Xiao suddenly stopped his sports car. What's wrong? Xiao. Sheng Xiao hugged Muchichi. Then he licked her red earlobe. Muchichi felt her whole body trembling. She felt weak. How sensitive. Sheng Xiao smiled playfully. Then, he let go of Muchichi and continued driving. Muchichi blushed. She could not help scolding him. You are so naughty. You always tease me. You don't like it? Sheng Xiao asked Muchichi. Of course I like it. It's the only way Xiao Xiao treats me. Mu Qiqi was unfortunate after she left the Mu family. She had almost no family on her side except for Suzy Pei. But at the same time, Mu Qiqi was lucky. If she did not leave the Mu family, she would not have been able to save Sheng Xiao and fall in love with him. If Mu Qiqi had to start over, she would rather endure the pain of being slandered again. She just wanted to meet Xiao Xiao. How lucky she was that the person she liked her too. When they reached the small mansion, Sheng Xiao said to Mu Qiqi, "Let's go." The tattoo. I know how to explain it to Aunt Pei. Mu Qiqi replied. Good girl. Mu Qiqi, who had changed her appearance, mustered the courage to enter the house. She smiled confidently when she saw Suzy Pei's surprised expression. I'm home, Aunt Pei. Suzy Pei looked at Mu Qiqi from head to toe. She could not help but sigh when she saw how beautiful Mu Qiqi was. Qiqi, you've really grown up. You've become beautiful. Do I look good? Of course. But your earlobes. It's a tattoo, Aunt Pei. I had a dream that Mu Tongxue was pretending to be me and did something illegal. The police found me and arrested me. I was very sad, but no one could tell us apart. So, I told Brother Xiao about it, and he brought me to get a tattoo. He said that Mu Tongxue and I would be more obvious this way. What does it mean? Suzy Pei was studying the meaning of the letters. It doesn't mean anything. The tattoo artist asked me to choose a pattern. I thought it looked good, so I chose it. I don't know what it means. Mu Qiqi said naturally. Suzy Pei nodded in agreement. That's good. But will the school give you trouble? No one would find out if I let my earlobes down. Moreover, I'm going to graduate soon. It won't be a problem. Mu Qiqi explained. Suzy Pei did not say anything else. She was very satisfied with Mu Qiqi's attitude. Chapter 65. Mu Qiqi successfully hid the origin of the tattoo. She went back to her room and lay down on the bed in satisfaction. To her, every day she spent with Sheng Xiao was like burning herself. Because she did not know when bad news and blows would come one after another. She had neither status nor background, and her family was hostile to Sheng Xiao. Moreover, Sheng Xiao was her benefactor. With so many factors, she did not know how far she could go with Sheng Xiao. But just as she had told Sheng Xiao before, as long as Sheng Xiao did not give up on her, she would not give up on him even if her head was bleeding. It did not matter if others looked down on her or humiliated her. She was prepared to sacrifice everything for this relationship. To her, she had to give everything she had. But to Sheng Xiao, he did not just want to give up his heart. He would advance step by step, plot, and lay all the foundations for Mu Qiqi, so that she would not have to go through more hardships. As a man, planning for the future was something he had to consider. No matter what kind of situation he was in, he would never let go of what he wanted. Looking at the tattoo in the mirror, Sheng Xiao put on a shirt to cover Mu Qiqi's name, because Mama Sheng had been knocking on the door for a while. Sheng Xiao got up and opened the door. Mama Sheng was holding a key in her hand. She said, "The house is ready. It's a villa with a view of the sea. When are you going to move in?" "After the new year." Sheng Xiao replied. "That's right. There are a lot of family gatherings during the new year. It's not convenient for you to be out alone." "Sheng Xiao, you won't disappoint me, will you?" "When have I ever disappointed you?" Sheng Xiao asked Mama Sheng in return. He had always been swift and decisive in business, and had created a legend of invincibility. Of course, he knew that Mama Sheng was referring to disappointment, but he was just playing dumb. "Among you and your brother, the family has the highest expectations for you. You know what I mean?" Since he was the crown prince, he was naturally the center of attention. But Sheng Xiao did things his own way, and never cared about anyone. "Mom, I'm sleepy." Sheng Xiao used his trump card. "All right. Rest." Mama Sheng left the key and turned to leave his room. Sheng Xiao could devote a lot of energy to the Sheng family's diamond empire. But he was destined to disappoint his family when it came to his personal life and feelings. Looking at the key that Mama Sheng had given him, Sheng Xiao put it in the drawer. He planned to let Jingyan stay there, because he wanted to create some human presence in the house, so that Mama Sheng would think that he was staying there. He had also prepared the key to the detached villa near Shengting University. When the time came, he would let Muqiqi go in and see how to decorate it. Previously, he wanted to bring Muqiqi to pick one, but it was too eye-catching. So, he had already asked someone to look for this villa. It was extremely secretive. The next day, Muqiqi went to school. Since her image had changed overnight, it was only natural that she would receive the attention of all the teachers and students. Such a Muqiqi was confident and dazzling. When Qian saw her, she couldn't believe it. OMG, is this still my desk mate? Qiqi, I don't even recognize you anymore. Does it look good? Muqiqi smiled. Compared to White Lotus Mu from class 5, you're so much more dazzling, okay? I don't like obedient girls. I'm super satisfied. Who did this for you? I'm going to ask him too. Muqiqi looked at her exaggerated expression and couldn't help but say, I'm not going to tell you. Hey, what's on your earlobe? Qian reached out and moved Muqiqi's hair away. When she saw the tattoo, she quickly covered her mouth. Qiqi, you've become naughty. You actually got a tattoo. It's to distinguish Mu Tongxue. Muqiqi said faintly and signaled Qian to keep quiet. But it's obviously a person's name. Hurry up and tell me. Who did you tattoo? Qian knew what her youngest daughter was thinking. She knew that Muqiqi wouldn't simply tattoo a name on her ear. That the person you had a crush on in your diary? Muqiqi nodded as if admitting it. It's so romantic. I want to go too. Qian hugged Muqiqi and played with her. Then she covered Muqiqi's tattoo. Qiqi, I know that you do everything secretly and don't want others to know. But I'm not someone else. I'm your good friend Qian. Mu Tongxue can't be your good little sister. But I can be your good big sister. Do you understand? You can come to me if you need me. I know Qian. Muqiqi was very touched. Qian really told her everything. However, she didn't hide it from Qian on purpose. She just hoped that when the time was right they would meet again. On the other hand, Muqiqi's appearance today had become a hot topic in the school. After all, everyone knew about her and Mu Tongxue. The two sisters were fighting each other, neither willing to let the other go. Still, judging from the current situation, Muqiqi definitely had the upper hand in every aspect. Whether it was her grades or the recognition of others, Mu Tongxue had been exposed several times in a row. That was why she was like a street rat in the school. Even though she was transferred to class 5, there were only 1 or 2 girls who could get close to her. Especially when she saw how dazzling Muqiqi was now. Mu Tongxue could only do the work that Papa Mu arranged for her to numb her nerves. Because she didn't want to fall behind Muqiqi. She would be the person in charge of Mu Group in the future. But what about Muqiqi? She was just a sponsor. She had no background. There was no future for her in the future. However, Mu Tongxue's grades dropped even more when the final exam results of the semester were released. It would be difficult for her to get into Shengting University. Mu Tongxue was very worried about that. Mama Mu couldn't help but think of her previous idea. She wanted to change the grades of the two sisters after the college entrance exam. She didn't think it was necessary before. But now, she felt that she had to prepare for it as soon as possible. After all, there was not much time left after the new year. Speaking of the new year, the semester was coming to an end. But Muqiqi thought that Xiao would be busier during this period. Moreover, there were so many people in the Sheng family. They would definitely celebrate the new year together. That meant that she could only spend the new year with her aunt. Xiao wouldn't be able to leave, would he? That night, the two of them went on a date as usual when Suzy Pei was asleep. However, Sheng Xiao didn't bring her to the revolving restaurant or other places that she was familiar with. Instead, they went to the new villa area. When the sports car drove into an unfamiliar place near Shengting University, Muqiqi suddenly realized something. Xiao, this is Shengting University's campus. Chapter 66. Muqiqi's heart was beating wildly. She was not mentally prepared for that. She felt that all of this was just an extravagant hope. She did not even dare to think that she could still live with him. Seeing that Muqiqi was speechless, Sheng Xiao stopped the car in front of the villa and asked her, "What's wrong? Are you unwilling?" Mu Qiqi pushed the door open and got out of the car. When she saw the huge floor-to-ceiling glass, she was very excited. "How could I not be willing? I'm just too willing. That's why I'm afraid. I'm afraid that everything will disappear from my eyes in the end." "Xiao Xiao." Sheng Xiao put his arm around her and opened the door with her. "Don't be afraid. Just do your best." Mu Qiqi was led by Sheng Xiao into the new home he had prepared for her. She felt as if her entire body was floating in the clouds when she saw the warm furnishings. It was so unreal. Then Mu Qiqi was brought to the second floor. When he pushed open the door to the master bedroom, Mu Qiqi's cheeks were burning, and she did not dare to look at him directly. "From now on we'll sleep here." After saying that, Mu Qiqi did not dare to look up. He lifted her chin and asked, "Are you shy?" Mu Qiqi nodded, not daring to look into his eyes. Sheng Xiao leaned over and kissed her. Then he carried her horizontally and placed her on the soft bed. Mu Qiqi felt as if her heart was about to jump out of her throat, but Sheng Xiao simply sat on the edge of the bed and told her, "I'm just letting you test if the bed is soft. You're teasing me again." Mu Qiqi glared at him, but there was nothing she could do about the demon. Sheng Xiao caressed Mu Qiqi's earlobe with his long fingers. "Go take a look at your cloakroom and study. Let me know if there's anything you want to change. I'll have Jing Yun prepare it." Mu Qiqi looked at him solemnly when she heard the name Jing Yun. "Assistant Jing, do you know about us? Do you think you can hide from him?" Sheng Xiao smiled wickedly. "Don't worry. It's not his place to meddle in my private affairs. So, you don't have to worry that our relationship will be leaked. But you have to tell me when you're willing to admit our relationship to the public." Mu Qiqi was very uneasy and panicked. "You dragged me into hell, so you have to be responsible for me." At that, Mu Qiqi reached out and hugged him. "I can do anything for you." Sheng Xiao smiled and patted her head. "Just sleep here tonight. I'll send you back tomorrow morning." Mu Qiqi did a double take. Could it be that Sheng Xiao wanted to? "What are you thinking? Little rascal." Sheng Xiao smiled mockingly and got up from the bed. "Take a shower by yourself. I'm going to the study for a video call. There's something I need to deal with in the United States." "Then where are you going to sleep? Where do you think I should sleep?" Sheng Xiao asked seductively beside Mu Qiqi's ear. Mu Qiqi's body softened, but she did not have time to think, because Sheng Xiao had already stood up and walked towards the study. What about her? After a nice shower, Mu Qiqi did not dare to think too much. She was afraid, but she would not stop him if he really wanted to. After all, she would do anything for the one she loved. So, Mu Qiqi took a shower in the bathroom, but she did not put on her clothes, and simply wrapped herself in a bathrobe and lay down on the bed. She was very nervous, and her mind was running wild. She was afraid that Sheng Xiao would think that she was not simple, and would think of ways to seduce him. But her feelings were really complicated. But she waited for Sheng Xiao for about 3 hours. She almost fell asleep in a daze, and only heard the sound of Sheng Xiao returning to his room. Sheng Xiao looked at the little one on the bed. He saw her exposed arms and the clothes beside her, and knew that she was not wearing them. He really did not know how the little one could be so bold. After washing up in the bathroom, Sheng Xiao dressed neatly and returned to the bedroom, and quietly lay down beside Mu Qiqi. Mu Qiqi was so frightened that she wanted to turn over, but Sheng Xiao held her down. "Don't move, or I don't know what I'll do." "Xiao Xiao." Sheng Xiao raised his head and looked at Mu Qiqi. He caressed her earlobe with his finger and said softly, "I want you, but not now. At least, when you go to university, you will no longer be a little thing." "I can. Don't be easily coaxed by men. Even though I'm the only man you could have in this life." With that, Sheng Xiao kissed Mu Qiqi's forehead and lay back down. "Sleep. You have to wake up at 5. How could Mu Qiqi fall asleep under such circumstances? In her new home, with Sheng Xiao lying beside her, Mu Qiqi felt that her life had been turned upside down by Sheng Xiao. She felt that she could never go back to the right track. That night, Mu Qiqi was very careful and nervous. She was a little disappointed. So, she could not sleep until Sheng Xiao woke up in the wee hours of the morning. To be precise, he did not fall asleep either. You keep tossing and turning. It seems that you really want me to do something to you. Having said that, Sheng Xiao sat up and hugged Mu Qiqi in his arms, letting her lean against his strong chest. Xiao Xiao, if I didn't pester you, have you thought about what kind of partner you would find? Mu Qiqi asked. Not interested. Sheng Xiao answered decisively. It's not like I haven't seen other men changing their women 3 times a day, but that has nothing to do with me. You don't like those. I don't like others touching my things. That's why I don't like touching what others have touched. Sheng Xiao explained to Mu Qiqi very seriously. Mu Qiqi, I'm not a stickler for rules, and I don't like to follow them either. That's why I prefer to play with taboos like you. Mu Qiqi listened quietly in Sheng Xiao's arms, because she had a feeling that Sheng Xiao liked to describe her as bad. But in fact, he was very attentive and considerate of others' feelings, even when they were in a bad situation. Unable to hold back, Mu Qiqi kissed the back of Sheng Xiao's hand. I'll follow you with big strides. Sheng Xiao hugged Mu Qiqi. He knew that she was naked under the blanket, but he did not put his thoughts into action for Mu Qiqi's sake, because he did not want to become truly despicable. The two of them leaned against each other and soon fell asleep. In their new home, the two of them slept in each other's arms. At 5 in the morning, Sheng Xiao woke Mu Qiqi up punctually and sent her back to the little mansion. On the way, Mu Qiqi could not help asking, Xiao Xiao, is the Sheng family very busy for New Year? Very busy, Sheng Xiao answered. Then, Danian, are you unable to come out of the Sheng family? Why? Do you want to see me? Or do you want to be like last night? Chapter 67. You evil little thing. Sheng Xiao sneered. Then he stopped the car near the villa. Just stay at home. I will come back to find my heart. What do you mean? You took my heart. Who else can I ask for it if I don't ask for it? Then he kissed Mu Qiqi's lips. Mu Qiqi laughed. It was so sweet. Then, she pushed the door open and went home. Although she felt sorry for her aunt, she felt that she had gone crazy. Soon, the school announced that it was a holiday. However, Mu Qiqi did not have the life to take a holiday. She had spent the whole holiday studying, so that she could become stronger. She wanted to improve herself in all aspects. Meanwhile, under Papa Mu's introduction, Mu Tongxue was also meeting some business friends or socialites, starting to interact with them. Of course, it was only a few months before the college entrance examination. Mu Tongxue showed her anxiety. She fainted a few times at home. Mama Mu could not stand it any longer, and told Mu Tongxue about her previous plan. Although it's risky, I think your sister is more confident with her results. I've already asked around, and all you need to do is pay. After the college entrance exam, your sister's results will be yours. Mu Tongxue nodded. That's right, Mu Tongxue. Mu Tongxue did not say anything, but she nodded to gain her father's trust. Mommy, you are the best to me. Even so, you still have to do your best. If the exchange fails, you can still keep your results. Do you understand? Mu Tongxue knew that very well. Although she wanted to hand in a blank paper and let Mu Qiqi score 0, it was not realistic. Moreover, it would be easy to be discovered. So Mu Qiqi could only take advantage of it. Recently, your father has brought you to visit many of his friends. It seems that he trusts you more and more. Study hard. In the end, Mu Group will be yours. I understand, Mommy. She would let Mu Qiqi enjoy herself for a few more days. When the results of the college entrance examination were out, she would cry all over again. Mu Qiqi patiently attended all sorts of tutoring sessions, but realized that her aunt seemed to be more willing to spend time on grooming herself in the last few days. Mu Qiqi paid close attention to Su Zipei's every move, and could not help asking her before dinner, Aunt Zipei, you've changed recently. Su Zipei was stunned. You saw through me? Aunt, if there's anything you can tell me. Mu Qiqi held Su Zipei's hands and said, Do you still remember your vice principal? Su Zipei asked. So he lives nearby too. I saw him going out several times when I went to buy groceries, so, he pursued you? Mu Qiqi asked excitedly. I don't know what he sees in me. Maybe I was mistaken. Although your uncle was chased out of Jianchuan, I still have a clean break with that scum. Plus, you need to take care of me. How could I think about those messy things? Mu Qiqi thought of their vice principal, a cute uncle in his early 40s. He was a good match for her aunt. In fact, the vice principal had already noticed Su Zipei when she attended Mu Qiqi's parent-teacher conference. Later, he was very excited when he found out that she was in the villa area. So, he could not help but talk to Su Zipei. After a while, how could Su Zipei not understand what he meant? Aunt Zipei, if he is really a good person, why can't you agree? Don't sacrifice your life for me. Mu Qiqi held Su Zipei's hands and said, It's still not appropriate. It's going to be New Year soon. I have to go to Sea City for 2 days to visit your grandparents and sweep their graves. Do you want to go with me? Actually, Su Zipei just wanted to escape. At her age, she did not want to marry into a rich family. She felt that her current life was more comfortable. Aunt Zipei, I still have a lot of classes. Don't worry. I will ask old Lin to help me wherever I go. Don't worry, Mu Qiqi replied. No, you can take old Lin with you. At most, I won't go out for a few days when you are not home. Su Zipei thought about it and nodded. It's good that you don't want to go. When your grandparents were still alive, they didn't treat you well. There's no need for you to go and see them. However, I won't be taking Elder Lin away. You can go wherever you want or find your classmates to play. But there's one condition. You must keep in touch with me. I understand, Aunt Zipei. Mu Qiqi was already an adult. It was not a problem for her to stay at home for a few days. Moreover, old Lin was there. Su Zipei was busy now. So, she did not have time to care about Mu Qiqi. All she wanted was to leave for a few days to calm down. So Su Zipei packed her luggage that night. Mu Qiqi was a little disappointed when she remembered that she had never been apart from her aunt. Aunt Zipei, I really hope that you can be happy. Su Zipei smiled and caressed Mu Qiqi's head. I will come back before New Year, to spend the New Year with you. Got it, Aunt Zipei. Mu Qiqi sent Su Zipei off, and told Sheng Xiao about it. Since Su Zipei was not home, Sheng Xiao went straight to the little mansion to have supper with Mu Qiqi. What do you want to ask me? The vice principal of our school is wooing you, but you think that she is not good enough for him, and rejected him. Mu Qiqi told Sheng Xiao. Xiao Xiao, you know the vice principal, don't you? You want him to be your uncle. I just think that when I get married, Aunt Zipei would be all alone. Mu Qiqi said sadly. I hope that she can find her own place. She is still so young. Mary. Sheng Xiao chuckled and pinched Mu Qiqi's chin. Do you think you can still get married? Why can't I? Mu Qiqi retorted. You have already slept on the same bed. Who else do you want to marry? Sheng Xiao asked Mu Qiqi disdainfully. You're not innocent anymore, Mu Qiqi. Mu Qiqi blushed but did not say anything. Instead, she held Sheng Xiao's hand under the table. I don't want anyone but you. Satisfied, Sheng Xiao told Mu Qiqi. I have a business trip tomorrow. I will be back the day after tomorrow. Chapter 68. As if it was a prank, Sheng Xiao suddenly approached Mu Qiqi and whispered into her nose. What about tonight? Mu Qiqi did not dare to move, and could only answer honestly. It's your home. You can stay wherever you want. What if I want to sleep in your bed tonight? Then Mu Qiqi quickly pointed at Su Zipei's room. I'll sleep in Aunt Zipei's room. What if I want you to stay with me? Then Mu Qiqi could not say anything, because Sheng Xiao's kiss was already on her lips. Mu Qiqi was already used to kissing him so intimately. Still, she could not concentrate at home, because she was afraid that Su Zipei would come back at any moment. Perhaps sensing her absent-mindedness, Sheng Xiao released her lips and carried her horizontally on the dining table. Scared, Mu Qiqi was stunned and nervous. I'm afraid that Aunt Zipei would suddenly come back. Guilty conscience. Sheng Xiao deliberately made Mu Qiqi look straight at him and kissed her again. This time, he deliberately swept her lips and tongue, so that she did not have the energy to think about anything else. And in just a moment, Mu Qiqi went limp and leaned against Sheng Xiao's chest. Little rascal, your aunt won't come back. Mu Qiqi hugged Sheng Xiao's narrow waist tightly, deeply inhaling the faint scent of his body. Xiao Xiao, how could I like you so much? Sheng Xiao took the chance to pick her up and walk step by step to her little room. Mu Qiqi was so nervous that her heart was beating like a drum. She was afraid, but at the same time expectant. Soon, Sheng Xiao kicked open the door to Mu Qiqi's room. He had not entered Mu Qiqi's room since the little mansion was given to them. Seeing that her room was filled with books, Sheng Xiao put Mu Qiqi on the bed and held her hands. Are you looking forward to it? Mu Qiqi blushed and could not help biting her thin lips. Sheng Xiao chuckled and let go of her. You wish. Mu Qiqi knew that he was teasing her. So she got up and locked the door. Now she would not be afraid even if Su Zipei came back. However, Sheng Xiao laughed out loud. Little rascal, you don't have the slightest potential to do bad things. My car is down there. Before I met you, I never dared to do such a thing. Mu Qiqi confided in Sheng Xiao boldly. I won't be kissing and hugging a man so frequently at this age. I won't be teased by him in all sorts of places. Sheng Xiao sat on the bed, his eyes glinting with a sharp gaze. He was like a sharp eagle staring at his prey. She could only take out her pajamas from the closet and said to him, I'm going to take a shower. Go. Sheng Xiao lay on the small bed and said, I'll leave in a while. Then I won't bother with you anymore. You're too despicable. With that, Mu Qiqi entered the bathroom. Suddenly, she remembered the night she was sold. Sheng Xiao was injured and sat outside waiting. In the end, he even called the hotel manager over just to open the door for him. Now that he thought about it, the situation was completely different. Mu Qiqi quickly finished her shower and returned to the bedroom, only to find Sheng Xiao lying on her bed with his eyes closed. Mu Qiqi smiled knowingly. Just as she was about to cover him with the blanket, he rolled over and pinned Mu Qiqi beneath him, locking her firmly. Sleep? Xiao Xiao. I told you you're too young. Sheng Xiao made his stance clear, but changed his position so that Mu Qiqi could lie more comfortably. It was the first time Sheng Xiao spent the night in Mu Qiqi's room. For Mu Qiqi, it was another kind of shock. She liked this man too much. That was why she was willing to take the risk. In the dark, Sheng Xiao kissed Mu Qiqi's forehead and her alluring earlobe. The little one had no idea how torturous she was. That was why Sheng Xiao waited until Mu Qiqi fell asleep and checked the safety of the little mansion before driving away. After all, he was not confident that he would really swallow the little one if he stayed. It was hard to imagine that the great crown prince of Huang Yao would have to restrain himself if he wanted a woman. Because he was waiting for the apple to ripen. When the day came when it turned red, he would eat the little one until nothing was left. The next day, Mu Qiqi was woken up by her phone ringing. She quickly woke up when she saw that it was her aunt, because she thought that Sheng Xiao was still in the mansion. But when she saw that the room was empty, Mu Qiqi answered the call. Aunt, Qiqi, are you okay being alone at home? Are you scared? Su Zipei, who was in the car, wanted to call Mu Qiqi to make sure she was safe. Don't worry, Aunt. I'm fine. Mu Qiqi quickly answered. That's good. Have fun with your classmates today. At the mention of classmates, Mu Qiqi only remembered that she had a date with Qianqian. So, she quickly got up and hurried to the place where she had agreed to meet Qianqian. Qianqian panicked. Why are you only here now? I fell asleep. I'm sorry, Qianqian. Mu Qiqi quickly explained and presented breakfast to Qianqian like a treasure. Only then did Qianqian calm down. Get in the car. Let's go to Z City. Why are you going so far? I want to see the person I like. He is studying in Z City. Qianqian explained to Mu Qiqi. Let's go. We won't make it if we are late. Mu Qiqi did not tell Sheng Xiao where she and Qianqian were going. And Sheng Xiao did not tell Mu Qiqi where he was going. When they arrived in Z City, Qianqian brought Mu Qiqi to the entrance of a private high school. Mu Qiqi looked at Qianqian's expectant face and could not help but smile. So you are in love too? Puffed. We are all adults. Who doesn't have someone they like? Qianqian winked at Mu Qiqi. Then how do you know him? He is my neighbor's child. In Mu Qiqi's heart, Qianqian should like a warm and caring man. But when he walked out of the school with silver hair, Mu Chichi only saw an arrogant little boy. Xiaoan, why did you come to me? The boy walked to Qianqian with a disdainful look. He even smoked a cigarette in front of her. It made Mu Chichi's impression of him very bad. But it was easy for a rich boy to get a disease, as if the whole world revolved around him. It's the holiday. I miss you. Duan Xiaoan snorted and walked in front. He brought Qianqian and Mu Chichi to the high-class club he was familiar with. Let's play billiards together? Mu Chichi did not like the noisy environment, because this place could not withstand Sheng Zhao's phone calls. But when she saw Qianqian was so happy, she could not leave. Perhaps what she feared had come true. So when Sheng Zhao called her, Mu Chichi was so scared that she hid in the washroom. Xiao. Sheng Zhao was a sensitive person. How could the crown prince not know about this kind of occasion? When he heard the music, he asked her immediately, "Where are you in the bar?" Mu Chichi was helpless. She could only tell Sheng Zhao what happened today. And when Sheng Zhao heard that she was in Z City, he immediately asked, "Which club are you in?" You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.